And welcome back to the We'll Take It From Here podcast. Another week, another episode. However, first, we are going to bring you our show's sponsor, because this episode is brought to you by Honest Supplements. Now, Joe, what's Honest Supplements? Well, let me tell you. In a world that is plagued by new illness outbreak every other day, it's important to keep your body performing at its best with the right vitamins and supplements. However, these products can get expensive, especially with rising prices all around us. Honest Supplements has resolved that problem. They mark up all products by just $1, saving their members an average of 50% per product. Yes, that means that the protein you're paying $60 for is only $30 on their website. They have everything from vitamins, sports supplements, recovery, weight loss, CBD, and so much more. Timmy and I are both members and can advocate for the amount of money that you will save. And do we also mention that all products are third-party lab tested? Because that's the only true way to prove vitamins and supplements actually contain the ingredients that they claim. Don't wait. Go to Honest Supplements right now to join today and start taking better care of your health. And it's right. If you train jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or just in the gym, you better be taking Honest Supplements. So go to their website, guys. All right. Now it's time for the show. And we're back, folks. So we'll take it from here with Joe and Timmy, episode 224, right? 224. I think we got it. Right. We're never going to fuck that up ever again. Guys, I'm going to say this one last time. I think we found the issue. I think we've solved the issue.
We have temporary fixes.
So I think you guys are going to have a video this episode that won't fuck up. And it's very important because today we are joined by Frank Patierno, Pure MMA. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, man. So really, really pumped to get to know you a little bit more outside of the gym. I know you said you have some stuff, a story that's got you to where you are today. So, but honestly, man, just happy to have you on and welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So like I said, like we said off the air, just take us back. Who's Frank, man? How'd you get to where you were? Start back. And like I said, this show is very free flow. So if we go off on tangents, don't worry. This is a tangent show.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest problem. As soon as I start talking, we're going to hit a certain amount of hours and you're going to be like, all right, Frank, time to go home.
It's all good. We're the same way.
Yeah, dude, we could go on. But all right, talk about where you from, man? Where'd you get your start?
I'm born and raised Fairfield. All right. Grew up there. Lived there until I was about 14. And then my parents got divorced. And that's kind of what all started the whole new trajectory of my whole life. Mm-hmm. My mom moved to Boonton Township / Mountain Lakes. My dad moved to Apacon. They say they gave us a choice kind of where we wanted to go to school. It didn't really seem like it. And at the time, Mountain Lakes was only 2 towns over. So I kind of viewed it as I want to be as close to my friends as possible. Granted, you're not driving, so I didn't see my, childhood friends for years. But, end up at Mountain Lakes High School. I was a big swimmer back in the day. Any of my family who's now going to be watching this is going to chuckle as soon as I mention swimming, because that's always just been kind of my go-to start of who I am, is that I was a swimmer.
Yeah.
Mountain Lakes, obviously, for those non-swimmers, you would never know. Mountain Lakes is always viewed as a lacrosse football town, but very under the radar. When I was in high school, we were, lacrosse was one, but swimming was definitely better than football and some of these other sports.
Shit, I didn't know that. I knew about lacrosse because I have a buddy who played lacrosse, and he always said Mountain Lakes was discarding you.
Mountain Lakes.
Yeah, 2 of my 4 years in high school, they were ranked nationally, and I'm almost positive. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure one of those years they were number 1 in the country. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact they were number 1 in the state a handful of times. So
yeah, they're always top 10 in the state and country.
Yeah, a few of, and by a few I mean I know more guys that played professional lacrosse, and I feel like that didn't play professional lacrosse at Mountain Lakes. So, including my cousin's husband, who I also went to, Mount Lakes with.
Sure.
I'm sorry, obvious. He was in my grade. My cousin was a couple grades younger. But he national championships at Duke, played professional.
Duke's
another
top tier lacrosse program.
Shout out to Jake. But he's probably not going to watch this. But maybe if I send it to him, maybe he'll watch it. So
what's up, Jake? I know you're watching.
We got a new fan now.
But yeah, that kind of started it. Obviously, for those who don't know what it's like to have divorced parents, it's brutal. It's hard. It's definitely at 14. I mean, listen, I hate to sit here and say it's easier at, when you're a kid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, because again, I experienced it at 14, but it's something about going right into high school, now having completely to change the way I live, the way I see things, the way, I was brought up.
So this was going into high school?
Yeah. It was, we found out around Valentine's Day of when I was in 8th grade. And then we got the news. My mom came in crying, was like, "Hey, I have something to tell you." And, again, I'm thinking about it like a 14-year-old. I'm thinking like, all right, like, you don't really see your parents cry all that much. And then she just said, "Your father and I are splitting up." And I'm like, okay, what do you mean splitting up? Like, what does that mean? You guys are married, And then obviously, then denial kind of sets in, and then your life just gets flipped upside down.
How quick was that denial coming in? Was that like an overnight thing, a couple of days? Like what?
It kind of, in the moment, it was almost immediate denial, but it's also tied to just not knowing what it is. Like, what does that entail? Like, all I know is that we're going to have 2 houses, I guess. You're right. Because that's your only mindset. It's like, well, who am I going to live with now? You don't understand that at that young age that you don't really have a choice. That's essentially a court order. Like, you're either living with mom or you're living with dad, unless mom and dad could figure out something. But my parents' divorce wasn't clean. So, specific details I'm just going to leave out. But it wasn't a clean divorce. There was a lot of fighting and there was a lot of reasoning behind the split. And so that made it obviously harder. So, absolutely. But again, I know plenty of people with divorced parents, and I don't think I've ever once heard somebody say, "Oh yeah, my mom and dad just split up," and it's been
They're
great.
Still friends, but
you know what I mean? Like, so I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're fast forwarding 20 years now, and my mom and my dad, and then my stepdad and my stepmom come to the holidays together. So there's definitely real progress.
Yeah.
But it took 12 years because I posted a picture at my one brother's graduation party, and my caption was, "I've been waiting 12 years for this." And it was a picture of my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my stepdad, and my 3 brothers and I in one picture.
That's awesome.
And so, like, that was 12 years in the making.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So imagine what that was like in between. And then being the oldest of 4, I have 3 younger brothers, so I now
You're 4 brothers?
Yeah.
So
I'm 3. I'm the oldest of 4.
You're one of 4 brothers. I'm one of 3 brothers, and that was a lot. God bless your mother.
Yeah.
It's a lot of testosterone in that.
But it changes because now, and again, I'm not tooting my own horn or like bashing my dad, but my dad's no longer around, so I'm now in the double role of like man of the house, but I'm still a 14-year-old brother. I'm still 15. I'm still 16. I'm still 17, trying to grow up. And then I have certain responsibilities because obviously my mom was working. After school, we'd get out at 2:30. My mom works till 5. Now I'm essentially running the house until 5:30. And it's not what a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid. Let's just say that. Like, everybody always says you're a man of the house. Like, dude, you're not. Now that we're at the age we're at, you're not a man at 16.
No, you're acting in a role of the man in the house, but like you got big shoes to fill. But, and the thing is, like, I asked because about high school. You're not even in high school yet, so this is end of 8th grade, right?
End of 8th grade, yep.
Your divorce is already a big thing. Then you're moving to a new school, all new friends. Yeah. That's big. But you're now doing that while going from 8th grade, which is always one school, and then high school, which is another. So you're moving schools regardless. Now it's friends group. There's a lot of big shit going on at once. Yeah. That's a lot.
And I mean, And just to throw this out there, the culture is different too.
Oh, yeah.
Fairfield's a very Italian, at the time, very Guido, very, fist pumping, go to the gym, get tan, have tattoos, big gold chains. And then you go to Mountain Lakes where it's like you're going from Jersey Shore to Beverly Hills, where it's golfing, it's Mercedes, it's BMWs, it's Birkin bags. It's, the girls in my grade were driving $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 cars. And I was proud of buying my first car for $1,000 that lasted me 8 months. And then I had to get another one. You know what I mean? So that was tough too, because it's, not only are your parents divorced, but your parents are divorced. So the houses are smaller, just a quick off. My Fairfield house was just put up for sale. So just to give you reference, it's right now, it's a gorgeous house. It's probably going to go over asking, but right now it's listed just under 1.1. Yeah. So now you add divorce in there, like both my parents are not buying $1 million houses. No. You know what I mean? So, that hurts too, especially because like you go to your friends' houses and you're like, oh my God, man. Like,
Mountain Lakes, none of the houses are, there's very few that are small.
Yeah. It's, at least, minimum 3-bedroom houses, 4-bedroom houses, and then obviously the bigger the better. And now I'm back sharing a bed, not a bed, a room with multiple brothers, just because of, back to divorce. So, but yeah, like that alone ate away at me. I wouldn't say eats. I'm a little bit older now, but ate away at me for like, you can't even imagine. It was so hard to explain. And then, you get in trouble in school for like having attitude, and then you're talking to a guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor's pulling in the parking lot in a $150,000 car. Yeah. And you're just, I'm sitting across a table like, well, dude, you don't know what don't know what I'm dealing with either. Like, I get you have all your fancy degrees, but what do you know about life that more than me? But that's just a mentality. Again, looking back on it, this is what they're trained for. This is what they go to school for. They're there to help you. But when you're 14, like, you don't view it that way. Yeah. You view it as everybody's different from you. And it almost kind of builds that victim mentality.
Well, the other thing too is, what are they going to do to help you? Right.
You're not going to make my parents love each other. You're not going to make them move in with each other. You're not going to make life easier for my brothers and I. You know what I mean?
You're not going to, you're in Mountain Lakes after the big move. With everything going on, you're talking about you had $1,000 car, people driving $60,000. You're sticking out like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah, 100%, and
not in a good way.
Right,
that's a lot. And then guidance counselor, it's like, you're gonna help me work through shit, but at the same time, like, nothing's changing. Like, I'm just dealing with it, kind of thing.
And then even so, you remember the teachers. Like, obviously, I always gravitated towards teachers that I could relate to, or just teachers that just had that it factor. I don't know how else to explain it. But then you'd have equal amount of teachers that the second you gave them attitude, they basically just say like, oh, like, you're going nowhere in life, and I won't be surprised when I'm reading about you on the news. And
that's like, fucked up, man.
That wasn't verbatim, but I did have a teacher that essentially just gave up on me after a few days into my freshman year. Making me making me feel stupid. It's like, I'm going through all this stuff. You really think I'm focused on, history class right now, or social studies, or, you know what I mean?
So, arrogance with some teachers, man.
Yeah.
What was the dynamic with you and your brothers sharing a room? You're basically playing dad and brother. You have responsibilities at 14. How did that dynamic play out between the four of you?
I think as good as it could have been, to be honest with you. I never really had a relationship with my brothers. And again, maybe it's because of the divorce, where like the fist fighting and the arguing. Like, I can count on my hands the amount of times that physical fights ensued with my brothers and I. I don't know if that was always because I was just so much bigger than them. Like, by 14, I was 6 foot.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what I mean? So, and then my brother Lou, who was 12, he's 2 years younger than me. He, even at that age difference, I'm almost like a foot taller than him. Like, it wasn't really fair fights or anything. Like, we obviously had our arguments over the littlest things, because, I think about it. We're in this small house. There's 2 TVs. Mom would have one TV. The 4 of us would have another TV. We all like different things. So, like, more so than not, disagreements
Been there.
would start over remotes. But I mean, for the most part, it was great. I had a young girlfriend when I was a freshman, and even that dynamic, it was a non-issue. My brothers all loved her at the time. My one brother's still friends with her to this day. Went to her wedding and everything. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So, nothing really that stands out where you'd believe it was an issue or
but that's actually awesome. And that's great to hear, because to be in the house like that, testosterone, right?
Yeah.
To hear that is pretty cool. So it's almost like you guys came together in the time of need.
Yeah, it's something bad happens, people tend to drift apart. Mm-hmm. Some people don't handle chaos and drama and issues the way others do, and that was probably the best thing that could have happened in our childhood. It was, we're even to this day. We have a group chat, we just have a brother group chat, and that group chat is electric. Mm-hmm. It's 24/7. And it'll be random stuff, and then it'll be life stuff. So, and then it'll be serious stuff where if one of us goes to the doctor and some number was off a little bit, it's hey fellas, accountability. It's more like an accountability thing. Yeah. It's Doc said, I got to work on this, and this, just letting you guys know. It's, we police ourselves in a way.
Yeah.
So
it's nice. It sounds like you guys all lean on each other.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Was that always the dynamic after the divorce?
If I had to see, the main one for sure. We had our separate issues when it comes to mental health stuff. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact all my brothers and I over the course of our lives have struggled with suicidal ideations and things of that nature, but it was we had our own reasonings behind it, and it's obviously all these years later we're all doing very well, and we're happy and content, and obviously it's just a continuous progression of just trying to be better. But outside of that, there wasn't anything that we didn't know, about each other when it comes to school, sports, girls, friends, things of that nature.
That's important.
Yeah. So, the divorce is a lot, and that's not the good thing. But the silver lining of this is it seems like it really brought you guys together.
Oh, 1,000%.
So, from that aspect, even now that you guys, the four of you in group text messages, that some brothers don't even do that. Some people don't even talk.
No. Yeah.
No. So having each other hold accountable is, you're not holding each other accountable. You're voluntarily asking people to hold you accountable. Which is even more important, because it's not I don't have to go yell at you to go. You're asking, hey, get on top of me.
Oh, right.
Make sure I'm not slacking here.
Yeah, and it's outside of maybe our careers, because we're all in different careers. Mm-hmm. My one brother's in finance, my one brother's in sales, my other brother is an electrician, and then I'm a police officer. So we couldn't be four completely different things. That's dope. But even so, if you have something to say related to work, you just throw it in that group chat, and
that's awesome.
It's more so we're rooting for you, man. You got this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas with other stuff where we have experience and we're more knowledgeable, obviously you're more detailed in your response.
Yeah.
But, if I say, hey, had a bad shift yesterday, my three brothers are not gonna be oh man, just some people get away with that. Some people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they don't understand.
Yeah, because and I guess more so the example I'm talking about is, policing. We miss a lot. There's plenty of times where you stop a car and you think you have something, and you kind of just hit that wall where you don't have enough reasonable suspicion to get in the car. You definitely don't have probable cause to get in the car. And then you just kind of got to let somebody go. And then, so if I say that in my brother group chat, they're going to have no clue what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're going to be what do you mean you let a bad guy go? It's just you know what I mean? So
something called the law. It stops me from just doing whatever I want.
But same thing, with my brother who's in finance, when he has his busy season, I'm all right, well, just make sure you get some extra sleep. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
He's that's the point. I don't have time to sleep.
So, that's funny.
I love the connection you guys have, because it sounds very unique to your dynamic, and every siblings are different, but it seems extremely healthy and constructive. So it's coming out of the other end of it. of the divorce and all the stuff you guys have been through. It's nice that's one of the positive results of it.
Oh, yeah.
So you're 14. Everything, you're keeping the dynamic together. School's probably not going too well because of the attitude. You're talking to guidance counselors. You have some arrogant teachers, but you have those teachers that click. What sparks the turnaround? Where's the turning point?
My turnaround was, freshman year, I struggled in school. It's just, my mind is racing. Like, it's not, I was never bad in school. Leading all the way up to freshman year, I was an A-B student. I never brought home C's. If my mom's watching and she thinks otherwise, she'll let me know. But I don't remember ever getting yelled at consistently or even periodically for bringing bad grades home. And then freshman year comes in high school, and my GPA was like a 2.3, 2.4. I think that's essentially like a B, C for majority of your classes. So again, like, not the worst in the world. Like, I definitely wasn't failing or getting D's, but I was not getting A's and B's. I was getting a couple C's and a couple B's. Sophomore year was a little bit of the same, but sophomore year, I started to turn with swimming. I started to kind of lean on certain coaches. One coach was on my club team who, at the time, I remember freshman year, I absolutely hated him. I just thought he was nasty to me. It wasn't even disrespectful, which is why it got to where it got to. But I always felt like that victim mentality where it's like, why is Sean always picking on me? It's always me. No matter what is going on in practice, he's always pointing out what I'm doing. And again, at 14, 15 years old, you're dealing with everything. I don't have dad around every day to kind of work through these things. And it just beats you up. And then sophomore year, I guess I grew a little bit more, got to where I'm not overly tall, but I'm like 6'2". So I grew another inch and a half, started to lean out a little bit, get a little bit more muscular. And I guess it just translated to better at swimming. And then now coaches are starting to recognize, like, we may have something with Frank here. But so with that, it was, well, how are you doing in school? And it was like, well, I'm not doing well. And they were like, well, if you want to swim at the next level, you got to figure it out. And I was just like, well, like, how do I figure it out? And it was just kind of one of those, like, male coaches just have that way with younger male athletes where it was like, Frank, listen, you want to swim in college, you got to figure it out. I'm not going to sit here and teach you how to do geometry and algebra and pre-calc. Not to give myself too much credit. I don't think I ever got to pre-calc, but you got to figure it out. Like, it's not that difficult. You're 15, you're 16, you got it. Like, it's there. You just have to apply it. And then that was about halfway through my sophomore year. I think my last marking period of sophomore year was pretty good. And then, junior and senior year, I'm pretty sure like I was in the 3.3 to like 3.6 range. Damn, so I ended up graduating with just under a 3.0. Which was good enough for colleges. And, I'm pretty decent with words. When I was getting recruited, it was like, well, it's under a 3.0, but like, let's just talk about the last 2 years. I was pretty good the last two, right? And then once coaches start figuring out your story, they're like, all right, man, this isn't too bad for a kid that had his life flipped upside down 2 years prior. You know what I mean?
You showed the progress of the turnaround, right?
Yeah. That was the big thing that got coaches interested was like each year it was getting progressively better. Yeah. But it was just the first year was. And
you can even spin that too. This is actually better. If I just had 3.0 the whole time, I don't know how to dig myself out of the struggle. I'm better than 3.0.
Yeah.
Because I've dug myself out of the struggle. When we have those meets and, half the team's broken or whatever, they're food poisoning and I'm the only one here. I could dig myself out of the hole.
Right.
The 3.0 person that's doing the whole time, they're not used to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that, and just not only that, but I started to learn about myself my sophomore year. Specifically with swimming. So, just for reference, obviously we're going back to Mountain Lake. So you swim club, big time swimmers swim club. Club in Jersey is very competitive. There's a lot of previous Olympians, gold medalists, silver medalists. One of my old teammates at 31, the last Olympics, won a gold in a relay.
Holy cow.
And a silver medal in individual.
Shout out to him. Congrats.
Yeah, it was Nick Fink, a very, you Google him and you'll see everything he's done. American records, world records at different levels. Swimming's big in New Jersey. So obviously it's died off a little bit since Phelps. Like everybody knew swimming when Michael Phelps was around. It's not like we don't have that Michael Phelps athlete right now in this sport, but it's people in Jersey know what swimming is. So anyway, that's what I was saying about I'll go on and on and on about
Don't worry about this. This is tangents, dude. This show's all tangents, bro. It's side tangents galore.
So what I learned about myself is the getting weirdly calm in chaos. So I remember we had this big meet my sophomore year. And we were against Westfield, and the meet was essentially over. Westfield was, majority of my time in high school, Westfield was always a top 5 school,
I thought
big
they
school.
Were big in
they
that.
were always good. And I think we would have had to have won first and second in the last 2 events, and I think we got like first and third. So we needed like a 3 relay sweep at the end, which in high school swimming, unless you're like at a prep school, like you're not doing that. But I was the anchor for the A relay, and their A relay was beating us going into the last leg, and anchor is last leg. And I remember the senior guys were going nuts. Like, even though the meet technically was over, like we had to sweep that relay and they're beating our A. So at that point, you kind of in the moment, like, all right, like the meet's over because we're barely going to beat them. How are they? And then I dove in after their guy and I beat him. And I remember just getting out of the pool. And this was like, this was like an all state level caliber swimmer. The A lane anchor of Westfield is a big deal. I can't remember who it actually was, but he was good enough where I had to swim the race of my life up to that point. To beat him, and I did, and that label kind of stuck with me. Is that Frank? In the meets that don't really matter, he's just kind of there, and then in the meets that do matter, he's like a different person. So I kind of just took that and ran with it, and it kind of just became an identity of mine. Is that I always did better in chaos and carnage than I did when everything was calm, and even to this day, like just in general, I'm more at ease when life is circling like this, and then when my life is calm, it's just like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, like something, like what's gonna happen, like what's going on, like like when's the next traumatic incident gonna happen, you know what I mean? So but yeah, that's just kind of been my identity from that. I guess I probably always had, but I never noticed it until swimming. So
shit, that's
what grade were you in at this meet?
So this was a sophomore year. So this was the turnaround of essentially
this is a big
the
spark.
First portion of my life. So
how long were you swimming up at that point?
Since I was 5.
Oh, so this
I
learned
learned how to swim I think when I was 2.
Holy, that's pretty young.
And then I was 3. My brother Lou was 2 because I just jumped in and he just jumped in right after me. And my mom always laughs about this story. She was like, oh my God, like Lou doesn't know how to swim. And then we just both popped up and swam to the side. And we're like, I think
you like a 2 and a 3-year-old to swim.
I may have actually had just turned 4 because that would be summertime. My birthday's in May. So I must have just been 4, but I was swimming. And then, so I think it's just in our DNA. Like one of my uncles swam at Lehigh.
Oh, okay.
My mom swam. My mom was a dancer, gymnast, swimmer. My dad he was like a football, basketball player. So there's a lot of athletics, athletic ability in my family.
Yeah, and it's like that with like human instinct, right? You hit the water at such a fucking young age. Like your little brother Luke swims.
Yeah, just follows his older brother and just pops up with him and swims to the side.
I'm just gonna do what he's doing.
That's funny. That's funny.
So 4, whatever,
and then racing by 5.
Racing by 5.
So,
damn.
But at 5, I mean, it's 1 lap.
Yeah,
and it was the town pool in Fairfield, which shut down in the last few years. It absolutely broke my heart when they filled that in. But yeah, so it was a summer swim team in Fairfield. We were the Flounders at one point, and then my cousins. So I have a bunch of cousins. So on my mom's side,
guy from Jersey with a bunch
there's
of cousins.
15 of us, and majority of us all swam. So it was essentially like my family, the Patierno Pachacola family, was Fairfield swimming. And once we started to get more of us, well, you know, because obviously I'm one of the older ones in the family, but once I hit like 7, 8, I mean, I had 3, 4 cousins swimming for the team. A couple of my brothers would swim for the team, and then we started winning, and then we were winning divisions, and then they changed our name to the Fighting Fish because they're like, oh, like they're not Flounders anymore, because the running joke back then was always like the Fairfield Drowners, because they were just so terrible at swimming until my family kind of just took over. And then you saw it kind of branch out where like you started to see some talent coming in, and you know, I remember a couple kids from Montville just became members at the Fairfield pool to swim for Fairfield, because I guess Montville was more of a lake community, so they didn't have pool leagues. They just had lake leagues, because that's big, and also big in Jersey too is the difference. I would never swim in a lake.
What's the difference? Is it the same competition, just in the lake?
It's literally that, but you just can't see the bottom of the pool, and there's fish and turtles swimming, snakes swimming around. I would never.
And it's New Jersey lakes.
Even to this day, I'm such a wimp when it comes to lakes. Like I live in Rockaway, right up the street from a lake, and I've never been in it once.
Yeah, dude, so, I don't blame you, because going like Lake Hopakon, if you just go in and you just open your eyes under the water, you're like, what?
This is as far as you can see,
dude. And there's conspiracy theories about Hopakon too, of like people dying and drowning and disappearing. And, the second I hear disappearing, I'm not interested.
So my buddy is like that. My buddy doesn't like snakes, right? So he's like, dude, there's no snakes in this lake. I'm like, I think there are, but you should be fine. We go in, we swim. That night he sends me a picture or video. It's like Lake Hopakon eel. He's like, brother, there was an eel in here. I was like,
not a snake, that's an eel.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
I don't know if they're the same or not, but I would argue it.
There's definitely a rivalry between the two, but in my opinion, there's no rivalry. The people who swim in lakes are tougher than the people who swim in pools. So, and I'll be the first to admit it.
Different kind of grit.
Because again, for reference, so then you move to Mountain Lakes. Mountain Lakes had a really good summer lake team, but if you were from Boonton Township, I think there was strings they could pull to get you on the team, and it was an absolute no for me, dog. No way. Sorry. I'll wait till summer league for the club team, or I'll just wait till high school. I'm not swimming in a lake. That's crazy.
That's funny as shit. It's funny. It's just that mental. It's the mentality, 100%. Because, like you said, there's no difference between the pool.
No, it's water. It's a bathing suit.
Yeah.
There's lane lines.
Yeah.
There's flags. There's coaches yelling, and there's a timer and a gun. Yeah. It's all the same thing. But in my mind, it isn't.
No,
because there's turtles and fish down here.
But you don't have you're having goggles, right? When you're swimming in a pool, right. You can see.
Yeah.
In a lake, you can't see unless you're looking out.
No.
And I'm sorry, but does college do any lake swimming?
Not really. We would train occasionally, like open water swims for charity. Like there's a big charity, Meters for Mike. It's I did it one year. I think it was in Seaside.
In the ocean.
Yeah, but it's like a ocean swim.
That's brutal.
You know, it's bigger in college too, the ocean swims, because half my college team was from South Jersey along the shoreline. So they were all intense lifeguards. I mean, some of these chicks and dudes would come in for preseason, and then like they're like ripped up, they're all tan because they just spent the whole summer on a beach like training in the ocean. And then you come in a pool and it's completely different. Whereas me, I was just a pool guy. And then I would do the occasional ocean swim because I always thought about, maybe doing like an Ironman one day, which, I've never come close to. But like at the time, I was thinking about it. So,
you know what? When you're telling me like all the swimming stories and like all the meets you're doing, I was like, damn, you would have passed the water portion of the SEAL training, like the buzz, the first one, the SEAL, like the other shit. Like,
I mean, physically, it's the mental thing.
Yeah, it's the mental.
So, like, from what I've heard, I mean, again, one of my high school friends also played lacrosse at Duke. He played football at Duke too. And then when he graduated, he just joined the Navy and became a SEAL. And so again, dope. I'm not going to sit here and say, as a guy who didn't sign up that way because I was in the Army, but I didn't sign up for that. So I'm not just going to sit here and say, oh, I could have done that, because that's what but the swimming side of
that's
it,
what I was
surviving
saying.
In the water. Oh yeah. I can, even to this day, I'm more comfortable in water than I am on land.
As long as
for a lot of the physical training.
As long as there's no fish or turtles.
Yeah.
But I agree with you because fuck that.
There's stories that I've heard. I'm sure you guys know who Jocko is. He's talked about it. Certain guys that are kind of more famous in that community will talk about some of the stuff they have to do, like at night and where they got to swim out and like in shark infested waters, depending on where you are for training. And like, that's, again, it just goes back like, if I'm not racing in a lake with fish, you think I'm joining the Navy to go swim with sharks? Like,
there's a different kind of motivation.
Like, no.
I have a side tangent. I have a side question for you, and I read this question. I'm going to shorten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You get $50 million, or I think it was $500 million, but every day for 5 years, 30 seconds, you pick the time of when it happens. You get teleported to somewhere in the middle of the ocean. Okay. If it's very cold, you'll have a warm suit. If it's hot, you'll be in a bathing suit, right? And you only just have to last 30 seconds, and then you get teleported back to your place. So you have to do it for every day, but you get for 5 years, but you get $500 million. Are you doing it
every day?
Every day
for 5 years?
Hold on,
30 seconds.
30
only.
seconds.
Yeah. Would you do it?
So
I don't know.
So I would say yes. The only caveat is this in like a stormy water?
It doesn't matter. You get put wherever, and it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, is it next to like an oil rig where the sharks hang out at the bottom?
Yeah. It could be. I don't know.
Because think about when you're in the middle of the ocean, 30 seconds is gonna feel like 30 years.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
like if you're like 5 seconds. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm good. Get me out of here.
If I knew it was 30 seconds, I would do it. A minute, that's where probably maybe not. A minute's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things get. Your 30 seconds.
It could be a hurricane.
Yeah, but that's my concern. I'm in the ocean with big ass waves crashing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What about the oil tankers as they're driving by too? Like, what if you get placed right by one?
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
Listen, the ocean's pretty big, so statistically speaking, I think there's a low chance. But I would gamble.
Yeah. But it's every day for 5 years.
For 5 years.
Dude, I always think that.
For 30 seconds.
I always think underneath, like I remember one time I was swimming in the Mediterranean, right? And off a boat, and I'm like looking down, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Like, fuck this, dude. I don't want to see what's underneath there.
Yeah. But it's the Mediterranean, the cleanest water ever.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I remember swimming off of the boot of the heel of Italy a few summers ago when I was there, and I mean, literally the bottom was 30 feet, and you see everything: the fish,
beautiful,
the coral, just whatever like sea creature. There was some stuff I'm like, what is that? But it's staying at the bottom, so it's fine.
Were you in Viareggio? In Calabria,
Puglia.
right? Oh, in Puglia. Okay.
Yeah. So we were there. I was with some people, and we were there for a wedding, and then we just kind of made it like a 10-day vacation, where it's like 2 days was a wedding and wedding activities, and then the other 8 days, I mean, we started in Puglia and then hit Rome, hit Florence, and Venice, whatever order that is. That was the order we did, and then we made our way back to Rome and then flew home from there. But
yeah, man,
I mean,
sounds like a great
trip. Cleanest water, because like when you go to Florida, there's parts of Florida where the water is very clean, but then you look around and it's not very clean. Whereas Italy, everything is clean.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, at least where I was, because again, Venice was not nearly as clean as Puglia.
No, Venice, dude. Venice is their sewer.
Yeah,
that's their sewer.
So I'm not going to sit here and say all of Italy. Like again, there's parts of the United States that have beautiful water, and majority of it doesn't. But Puglia, the cleanest, best water I've ever seen.
Somewhere that Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Did you end up swimming in college?
Yeah.
After summer?
So I swam at Ramapo. So what happened was I was getting interest. I'm not going to sit here and say I had offers, but I was getting interest at 15, 16 from Division I. And then I blew my shoulder out. Right before my junior year. I missed all of my junior year, and then by the time I came back, like swimming's one of those sports, one surgery and that's it.
Really?
Yeah. Unless you're like a Michael Phelps talent, but technically, I don't know. I don't know any swimmer that had a surgery and still went Division I and competed at a high level.
Shit.
And there was quite a few of my teammates swam at high levels. And I mean, the most they had were, not arthritis. What's the first stage of that? Just like inflammation. No, just like inflammation. There's another word for it. I'm blanking right now. But tendinitis.
Yeah. Tendinitis.
So
okay.
my fault. Yeah. So a couple of my teammates had tendinitis, but I mean, with PT and injections, that was pretty much taken care of. But yeah, I was 15 years old getting injections almost weekly. It felt like just to compete. And then, junior year, I was out majority of the season, but I raced in 2 meets, which kept me eligible for playoffs. And then in playoffs, right after I was kind of cleared to get back, I swam a couple races in the playoffs and then in the state championship, just to show up. And I mean, when you place with a bum shoulder that you weren't even cleared for, it's a cool feeling. And then that kind of led into me becoming the captain of the team my senior year, because it was like, look what Frank did to his body.
You weren't cleared and you medaled?
Yeah. Placed.
Sorry.
Placed.
Yeah.
So placed is just when you score points.
But you weren't even cleared. You did that.
No,
That's impressive.
I was hanging on for dear life. At one point, I separated my shoulder and just kind of had it get popped back in.
Jesus.
It was, so it's the running joke too with my dad is he was always like one of those hard-nosed, like football, basketball, like tough guy sports. So he never really understood swimming, but he saw like what I was doing to my body and what I was putting my body through just for my sport. And I think that's where that's where he kind of just was like, oh, like this is kind of like my son's A, kind of tough, but B, like swimmers are kind of tough. Like they're not like those wimpy athletes that people think they are. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we put our bodies through hell from 5 years old to 22, 23. And then some of these kids who grow up and are good enough to still try to make the Olympics. I mean, they keep going. So, I mean, my one friend, he medaled at 31. Like 31 in swimming is ancient.
Yeah.
Your prime is like in 19 to 23, 24.
31.
So for men, I don't know what it is for women, because Katie Ledecky's like, I think 29 now, and she's still dominating. So she could be like, she's the Michael Phelps of women's swimming though.
That's pretty dope.
But
people underestimate how tough that sport is.
Oh,
like, I did swim for one summer.
Yeah.
And they obviously put me in the backstroke. Of course, no one wants to do that.
The only stroke I was not good at.
Yeah, I wasn't good at that. And they had me breaststroke, which was miserable. I think I did butterfly. No, breaststroke was fine. It was butterfly.
Yeah, that's the double over.
Yeah, fuck that. Oh my god.
Wait, I'm a little.
Butterfly.
Yeah, butterfly is that. Is breath just? Oh, breath
is this way. You come under and you extend your feet like this.
Yeah. Okay.
So and then free is obviously this. Backstroke is like this, and then fly is double.
Yeah.
Bro, backstroke, what the fuck, man? How the fuck do you go fast in that, dude?
I don't know.
People fly.
Some of my teammates were some of the most ridiculous backstrokers.
I didn't mind backstroke, but I kept getting water in my ear, and that's the thing I hated the most.
Oh, yeah, and then it would go up your nose if your head wasn't tilted back properly. That was backstroke is probably the reason why I didn't go Division I, because I was pretty decent at the other 3 strokes, but I was not an IMer because my backstroke was just that bad. So just absolutely pitiful.
Yeah, but my point is, it's a tough sport.
Yeah,
it's very demanding.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess fuck. So like when you're saying that, so let's just say you have surgery, right? And then you say that the swimmer is never the same again.
Yeah,
get. Is it like in your case where every time you go back after a surgery, you're dislocating and have to relocate it, or does it just bother you? Or
so I had a bunch of labrum issues. I essentially had to have my labrum reconstructed twice because this same injury happened again in college, which essentially ruined my college career. But yeah, they knock off a percentage of what you're fully capable of each time you have a surgery. I don't know what the exact number percentage, but basically once the second surgery happened, my doctor was like, okay, like your career is over. And that was after my freshman year of college, and I still swam 3 more years.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, so
my career's
like
over.
listen, I wasn't close to the level that I was at. I mean, my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college were my fastest 2 seasons of my career. And then by my senior year, dude, I was like I was barely making like starting lineups for just regular dual meets. You know what I mean? But by then I had nothing left. Like my college coach kind of knew the deal. I was one of those like glue guys then because I was just, I was friendly with everybody. Everybody liked me. I still trained. Like I wanted to be there. But my body was just,
your shoulder was like, hey,
it was like,
can we chill?
You never tired.
Like, how many surgeries are we going to need for this? You know what I mean? Like you Michael Phelps wannabe. So.
No, but I feel like that's teaching that taught you, like you said, resilience. You're always better in the chaos. And you knew that whatever life was throwing at you at this point, fuck it, I'll do it.
100%. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and again, I always joke with some of my friends now, even, family and just people in general, like how my opinions of these younger generations is just, they're not what we were growing up. And I think the generations before us were even tougher than I think we were. Mm-hmm. But again, I only know from my experience, we all, fed off my high school coach, cause he was just, he was an animal. Like winning wasn't enough for him. Like he wanted to just beat the brakes off of everybody. And we'd be swimming against like a Bridgewater or, like a Pingree, like prep schools. And like, I remember we beat Del Barton one time and we pummeled them and it like wasn't good enough for him. He's just like, well, you lost 2 races. So you lost 2 out of 20, but you should have won all of them, but like that was the mentality. So it was so ingrained that I'll just speak for me. It was so ingrained in me that like working hard was one thing, winning was another. And then they're like pummeling people was a completely different thing. Mm-hmm. Like
undoubtable win.
Oh yeah. Like he wanted it to be to the point where you couldn't be like, well, if we did this and this, we may have won. It was like, he wanted teams to be like, wow, dude, Mountain Lakes just beat the fuck out of us. You know what I mean? Like that's just what his mentality was. And it was electrifying. Like I loved every second of it. And a big reason why my life panned out positively is because of my high school, high school coach. Mm-hmm. I always, I had some great club coaches, but outside of the guy Sean that I was talking about, he kind of revitalized it for me to be important in high school swimming. But that coach that I had in high school, just say his name is Dave Leschnauer. That's impacted me beyond explanation. we could sit here for 3 hours. I could just talk about my high school coach. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm assuming he swam in college and stuff.
I know he swam. I don't know. Like I did know. It's been so long. I don't remember, but I know he was a good swimmer. And and he was an even better coach. He was a legendary club coach. Mm-hmm. But the problem is in high school, I've been out of high school now for a while. I don't know if it's still this way. I'm just assuming. But if you were a club coach, you couldn't coach the same ages of your high school team. So he had to switch and start coaching like little kids so that he could continue to coach high school kids. Like high school swimming was that much more important to him. And that's, me just saying that now you can kind of understand like why it meant the world to him. Because he literally sacrificed his club legacy to just coach Mountain Lake swimming. And I was part of, I won 4 state championships when I was in high school. Wow. They won the year before I got there in obliterating fashion. Only 1 year in high school was it close. It was my sophomore year was pretty close. I think we only won by 8.
Was close.
But freshman year was over halfway through. We had like kids that like just swam because they wanted to say they were on a swim team that were getting in the state finals because it was just over. Like halfway through
they wanted the Leatherman jacket with the state champ.
Dude, these are dudes like some of my old friends. These dudes went to Princeton, the Naval Academy, Princeton, Columbia, Harvard. Like these were dudes that like I had no business even being in the same stratosphere as them prior to my first injury at that age. Like I was like an all conference swimmer and barely making the starting lineup. Wow. You know what I mean? So Whereas if I swam at West Essex, where I would have gone to high school if I stayed in Fairfield, I mean, there's a good chance I have half the school records.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't even come close to any of my Mountain Lake school records. So that one relay I was in, but it was my sophomore year. The only reason why I was close was because the 3 dudes that I was with all like set records in college, Division I.
Shit.
So one was Navy, one was Colgate. The Colgate guy, he still has all the sprint records. So 50, 100, and I think 200.
20 years later.
20 years later. And then the other dude, he swam at Princeton.
Yeah.
One of the most electric swimmers I've ever been around in my life. So like he was a legend when we were kids. So his name was Charlie Wang. He's a big Asian kid. He was like 6'3", like 250. Just you look at him and you just, even in high school, like he was a monster. I don't know if he was 250 in high school, but
I was going to say
he was, I mean, 6'2", 6'3", over 200 pounds is like a big Asian kid.
That's a lot of
and he would dive in
the water.
And he was like across the pool before he even came up to start swimming. He had the sickest underwaters ever. And he was a junior on that team. Like we had freshmen that were sick, sophomores, juniors, seniors.
Your high school.
And we just filtered them.
Your high school has so many fucking athletes.
Oh, yeah.
I know Mountain Lakes, and there's a lot, and that's the thing too, is New Jersey also has a lot of athletes that go professional. But Mountain Lakes, lacrosse, swimming, I don't even know the other sports outside.
We had a couple football guys in the early 2000s make the NFL.
Yeah, but how many people from your high school went to college was very well and very competitive? Most people have like my high school I graduated. I went to East Hanover, Hanover Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We had a bunch of good football players, some pretty good lacrosse players, but no one went pro that I know of.
Yeah.
The only people I know from my high school went pro was on TV.
No, it was known like that, especially with the lacrosse players. Like you were like a bum if you didn't go pro.
Yeah,
you could be like all state, all American, but if you didn't go pro, like you were a bum. And that standard was winning a national championship in college. You know, I remember around the time when I was younger, around that age, that college age, Mountain Lakes had an alumni win, I think 5 or 6 Division I national championships in a row. Like there was like a Mountain Lake streak of alumnus that were on a national championship team, including Duke, including UVA, including Duke again, including Loyola Maryland, and then a couple others. I'm not really sure, but it was insane. Like imagine that as a streak. A Group 1 public school in New Jersey had representatives on the 6 national championships in a row.
How does the program, to me, it's just wild, like how a program gets that epic. Those stats is impressive.
Like as soon as they're born, a lacrosse stick is in their hand.
It's Mountain Lakes. Yeah. So even though it's a public school, those what's the average house in that town? 1.5 million. Like everyone has.
But that town alone, that attention brings it almost recruits itself because while there's a lot of homegrown talent, there's a lot of people who move to Mountain Lake specifically because their son or daughter is good at lacrosse. Because the girls' lacrosse program is pretty good too. I don't think it's at the level of the guys, but it's just a lacrosse town, so people will move there. Which apparently is how my mom chose Boonton Township, was because she had heard through the grapevine that their swimming was good, and that's kind of what got me. I was like, oh, all right, like it's close to Fairfield, and their swimming's pretty good. And then, 4 state championships later, you're like, oh, like mom wasn't lying. I guess they were pretty good. So
what's great about hearing you being on that team, 4 state championships, but then all your teammates doing what they did. It goes back to the saying, if you're the toughest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Oh, 100%.
And that's what definitely made you
better.
Was being around them.
Because I mean, you rise to the talent around you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I always say that I make comments here and there in joking manners about how if I went to West Essex, I'd probably have records, but maybe I don't. Because maybe I'm never in a meet where it matters because it's not a swimming town, it's not a swimming school. Maybe I don't break any records because there's nothing to swim for. You know what I mean? Except for maybe at counties, which is 1 meet a year for a high school team. That doesn't matter. Like, am I even going to really try at a county meet? Like, probably not.
Yeah.
Like Mountain Lakes, that's all it was. It was, we're going to set up meets against the best 10 schools in the state. If they want, and then we'll just branch off from there. Like my coach's standard was he wanted the top 10 schools whether it was Pingree, Westfield, your Bridgewaters, your Delbartons, your St. Joe's Metuchen, because regional wasn't that good at swimming, but St. Joe's, Don Bosco we called them one time. They weren't very good, and we ended up not swimming them. But like those are the teams we're reaching out to at Group 1 public schools. And then, so like sometimes our season record would be like 9-4, but then you see who we swam, and it's like lost by 8, number 1 team in the state. Lost by 6, number 3 team in the state. Lost by 10, number 5 team in the state prep school. Like it's, and then you win a state championship, and again, the people who aren't in the sport are like, oh well, like you won the states. Like how'd you lose 4 during the regular season? It's like, okay, well,
because we were the best.
And with swimming too, at the time there was only 4 state champions. So like football, I mean, like I always made fun of my one brother who played football. It's like, dude, you're one of 50 New Jersey state champions. Like in swimming, there's 4. No. So it's public A, public B, and then non-public A, non-public B, and it's based on school size. So it's like group 1 to 3, I think were public B, and then group 4 and 5 were public A. And then obviously the same with the non. It was just based on population. So, but literally just 4 state champions.
No, but that's even absurd because I'm thinking about it for football. Our senior year, we won the states, right? Yeah. We were group 4. And we finished in the state around number 13. But then when you look at it, it's like, okay, who's first? Okay, if we played Don Bosco, what's really happening? We were tough motherfuckers. But if we played Don Bosco, Bergen Catholic, St. Peter's Prep, like what's going to really happen? It's the same thing for a group 1 to do that, to compete there.
And that's the thing is, outside of my senior year, I mean, my freshman year, we beat the other 3 state champions.
Yeah.
We were number 1 in the state my freshman year. Mm-hmm. And then again, I barely made the team, and I was pretty decent. You know what I mean? And I mean, barely made the team as in, I barely was in those big meets. Like, I was in C relays, and then occasionally I'd get a C lane for, some event that we just needed one of our big guys to just rest for the next event. And then sophomore year, we still won. We won by 8, but it was probably our worst season when it comes to my time in high school. Like we had to really scratch and claw to win those playoff meets. I don't even remember what it was. I just think there was just teams around the state that just had a lot of talent, and we had maybe 5 guys that were really good, and then we had a bunch of solid guys. But again, at the time, swimming was so big in New Jersey. You needed more than 5 guys on your team. You needed 8 to fill out 2 relays, and then all 3 lanes to be dominant. But it was electric, man. That's awesome. A lot of who I am as a person just stems from my time as a swimmer, but specifically my time as a Mountain Lakes high school swimmer.
And would you credit that? What was the biggest takeaway or lesson you got from swimming that it, I guess, impacted you and shaped you who you are today?
You said, just everything that you get in life takes hard work. Mm. It's and trying to rid yourself of that victim mentality. You're not going to win meets and championships by saying you're going to win. You have to put the work in. Mm-hmm. You have to train doubles and triples, and then do morning dryland practices on Saturdays. Even I was talking to my high school coach a few weeks ago, and he made comments that it ain't what it used to be, Frankie. Mm-hmm. It ain't what it used to be. And I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah. We'll keep that off here, but it just stems back to you can't be tough on kids anymore because they're not what they used to be.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it at that. I mean, again, I'm not going to sit here and bash the next generation, but that's just what it is.
It is. I have a buddy of mine that was a college professor at CCM, and I met him when I went there, and he goes, when you went through, you were the last group. After that, it just went downhill.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, yes, that's true. But also, do you see the record? Professional athletes now are breaking records more and more too. So the generations are softer, but they're also doing more crazy shit too. Yeah. So it's the average is softer, but then the extreme levels are advancing more. So
Michael Phelps doesn't have any world records anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The competition is catching up. So it's there.
It's just far and few in between.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just, especially on the coaching standpoint. I've never been a coach. I don't know what that's like. But again, our coaches were allowed to curse and scream in our faces. And I never once thought, oh, like, I'm going to go tell my mom that, like, Coach Lesh, like, said the F word in my ear. You know what I mean? It's like,
I said that my mom would have been like, yeah, what did you do to deserve it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, and my parents would encourage it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, like, you know, Lesh saw you going at Frank because he finished second instead of first. Like, yeah, you keep doing that. Like, no seconds around here. You know what I mean? Like, so
only seconds at the dinner table for pasta.
And my mom was even worse because she swam, so she gets it.
Yeah,
you know, my mom was harder. My dad was just like happy to be there. You know what I mean? But
if he knew the in on swimming, he would have been harder.
Anybody knows what winning is. You know what I mean? So like my dad was always a big supporter, but like again from less words because he doesn't. It's hard to relate. Kind of like our conversation with my brothers and in our careers. You know, my dad's not a swimmer. He doesn't know. If I go at 21 in the 50 free, he's not going to know that like going at 22 is terrible. Yeah. He's going to be like, oh, well, it's just a second.
Yeah.
But in 2 laps, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Division 1 and Division 3. You know,
Christ, man. That's
which is probably not even true anymore.
Yeah.
But that's what it was back then.
So you swam through high school and college.
Yeah.
So you said senior year, you kind of in college, you kind of
I was a team member.
You can be a part of this, but you're not doing much. Yeah. So how did you transit? Because you said you were in the Army. How did you transit? How did that come in?
So the Army was once that second injury in college happened. I kind of just not that I ever thought I was going to the Olympics. Like after like high school, but it starts to set in. Like okay, like you know, swimming's not forever. Mm-hmm. Swimming's not going to pay the bills one day. Like we got to start thinking about what we're going to do. And the similar thing kind of happened in college when I went my freshman year, because now I'm on my own and now alcohol is introduced. Because when I was in high school, I didn't drink. I was like that popular kid in school that you never saw on the weekends. Like I was always either with my brothers or I was training. Like that's it. You know, it took over. I never had an interest like the partying. Just to be in these kids nowadays that are like getting drunk at 12, 13, like that was not me at all. Mm-hmm. And, but unfortunately it was me when I was a freshman because day one you get there, college swimming's different from high school. The sophomores show up to your dorm, don't even know who you are. Hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, get your fucking shit. And I'm going to try to do my best not to curse too much.
Curse, man. You're good.
It literally, that's what it was. Get your fucking shit. We're going to the dorm. We got to drink XYZ before you meet the girls on the team. Because they kind of made it seem like the girls were like these like supermodels. So we're like, oh, okay, like sweet. We get to meet girls, like college girls. Like, okay, great. And then we walk into this room and it's just buckets. And in the buckets are a handle of Popov, a 30 of Keystone Light or Natural Light, Natty Light.
Yeah.
That's what the kids say these days. Yeah. And then like a container of lemonade powder. And there was like 6 of us and we had to drink 2 of these.
Jesus.
And I remember sitting there.
Christ.
I remember sitting there with like, I brought a bag of chips because like my dad, not my dad. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, like I think we're going to have to like go drink. Like I'm a little nervous. Like I maybe had a beer or 2 in my life. My mom always thought I was full of shit, but I was like, no, like Mom, like I swear, like I've never drank before. Like I'm a little nervous. And she was like, oh, like, you know, just like bring some chips or something with carbs. Like, you know what I mean? And so I bring this bag of chips and literally I walk in and the one sophomore just like, what the fuck? And he grabs my chips. He slams it on the ground. And I'm like, damn, like, dude, I don't even like swimming anymore. Like this sucks. And then, dude, we didn't have a choice. Like we had to drink those tubs. And then before we went to go meet the rest of the dudes on the team. So the upperclassmen. And then, cause essentially like at the time, I think we had 1 senior and then it was a couple of juniors. The juniors were the captains and then all the sophomores. So the sophomores were like the enforcers of the team.
Yeah.
Granted, they're a year older than us. Like they can't even drink. We don't even know how they got the alcohol because they're all 20 years old.
The sophomores are the Blue Belt Mafia.
Literally. So the freshmen are just the white belts. I have no idea what's going on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we ended up drinking it. I don't know how, but I wasn't that drunk. Like the first time I drank, I don't remember being that drunk. Some of my freshman teammates are throwing up like on the way to the party. We walk in.
It was those chips.
The jalapeno cheddar ones.
There you go.
Yeah, we meet a bunch of the girls. The bunch of the upperclassmen girls were very cute. So I'm like, oh man, like this is fucking awesome. Like, now I got like I feel hot. Like I don't know what this is. Like, and meanwhile, it's like I'm buzzed or possibly even drunk. And then I look like a champ because like majority of the dudes I'm with are throwing up and they're like, oh, these freshmen are pussies. Like, look at this. And then they're like, look at this kid with his fucking Ed Hardy shirt on. Cause I literally got my first college party. I wore like an Ed Hardy shirt. I don't know what I was thinking. I never wore that shirt again after that night.
That's dating us real hard.
But, that's great. But yeah, so that was freshman year. Freshman year was just a blur, like being introduced to alcohol. We'll get into it like a little bit. Like I come from a family of alcoholics. My mother struggles with addiction, with that. So I always was turned off by alcohol because of what I had seen in high school and, when I was younger, just with my family members. So as you could probably guess, I didn't handle it well. Like all of a sudden I'm angry. All of a sudden I'm like all the trauma from high school and like post divorce to this point start coming out. So much so that like now I'm starting to break away from my relationship with my dad. And now I'm just like the most angry problem child. I mean, dude, I was like, now I'm starting to fail classes. Like I'm having to repeat classes. At one point I was accused of plagiarism and I couldn't figure out how to prove that I didn't plagiarize. So I essentially sucks. Like, cause I just didn't know what I was doing. Like I would just have teammates or specifically like the girls, cause the girls are always just smarter than the boys on the team, like just helping me write stuff. And then like, cause my major, it was law and society, which is essentially like criminal justice. There wasn't tests. It was just essays. And, like I was not a writer. Like I didn't know how to cite quotes or properly do that. And then, so that was just kind of like a brief synopsis of what school was like for me. Like I was just lost. I was overwhelmed. I'm taking gen eds that it's like, dude, like what the hell is like Nepal government? Like what am I, why am I taking this class? Because like some review was that's an easy class. Meanwhile, I'm getting kicked out of the class for plagiarism because I cited something wrong. And then I couldn't figure out how to prove that I cited it right. But really I didn't cite it right because I had some girl type the paper for me. Yeah. And she didn't know what she was doing clearly either. So I barely get through. I did enough where they couldn't kick me off the team, but I had to go mandatory study halls like weekly just to prove that I'm trying in school. And then like at that point, now I'm starting to think like, dude, maybe like this college boy stuff is just not for me because like I'm like all my teammates are living life, having fun, doing well in school, like getting internships. And I'm sitting here like twiddling my thumbs, with swimming just being my life. Swimming and then what party we're going to on Saturday night is my life. So that happened. That was my sophomore year. Excuse me. You mix in, I was not the greatest dude when it came to dating. Like freshman year, I think I had like 2 girlfriends and then I was like talking to this other girl too. And it was just like that created more issues for me because now like I'm living in secrecy and like my anxiety's through the roof because it's like, well, what if girl A comes across and meets girl B? And I can't believe I'm actually saying this. So like, whatever. So
I can't confirm nor deny.
The people who are important know these stories already. So it's whatever. But that just shows you the type of spiral I was going down. Where I'm treating my friends poorly. I'm treating women poorly. I'm treating myself poorly because I'm not doing well in school. I don't have a vision. I don't know what I want to do. And then I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I joined the Army at 19 and I don't remember like where the idea came from. I was dating a girl at the time. Once I kind of leaned away from that, my freshman year, I started consistently dating one girl my sophomore year. And she's a doctor now. So she just always had it. Like she was a nursing major. She got her doctorate in nursing. She's very successful now. But she kind of got me more level-headed where it was like, okay, Frank, like you're fun and we're young, but like, like I'm not going to be interested in dating you if like you don't figure out, like if you don't have a path, like, and it was unbelievable because she was a freshman at the time, 18 years old, and helping me kind of figure out like, I can't live like this forever. So like, God bless her. And everything she did, I mean, we ended as bad as you could end at like 19, 20, 20 years old.
College relationship,
but like, I'm so grateful for that. That was the first relationship with, girlfriend relationship that definitely kind of made me realize that there's more to life than swimming and drinking, So again, don't remember. Somehow I got mixed up with an Army recruiter. I was still in school at the time, so I had just finished my sophomore year, or I was about to, because I technically enlisted right before finals of my sophomore year. And I just asked the recruiter, I was like, what's a job that gets you the most respect? And it's the shortest basic training. Because I was like scared. I didn't want to go for 6 months. Like there were some schools that were like 2 years. Like Special Forces is like 2 years. And then if you don't speak fluent Arabic, it's extended because you need to speak fluent Arabic to be Special Forces. At least at the time. I don't know if it's still that way now. But at the time, like speaking Arabic was just as important as passing your PT test. So they said infantry. And I was like, okay, what's that? And they're like, it's the foot soldiers. The guys who like break the doors down and like kill people. So I was like, oh. So I'll get the most respect. I was like, how long is basic training? They're like, like anywhere from 12 to like 15 weeks. And I'm like, wow, that's a long time. And they're like, I mean, you could be a medic. That's like 60 weeks. And I'm like, all right, infantry it is. So then I go to basic training in September of what would have been the start of my junior year. I was there until January. So I'm there from September, literally September 10th, I shipped out to basic down in Georgia, Fort Benning. The nickname Sand Hill. So if you guys have any military background or know people, Sand Hill is, it's like Paris Island in the Marines is, it's respect. If you say you're in the Army and you went to Sand Hill, that's like the start of, all right, like, you did something respectful in the military if you went to Sand Hill. So I did that, came back just in time to start second semester of what had been my junior year. So now it's technically the start of my junior year. And I was Dean's List pretty much the rest of my time in college after that. So again, it was like that sophomore slump where I needed like a eye opener and something to wake me up and get me to that point where I had to refocus. And
do you think the boot camp stuff helped hone you in?
Dude, when you're being bullied and you literally can do nothing about it for 5 months for the country, you know what I mean? It's it makes you understand. Like it made me, because I had just turned 20 now. So now at 20 years old, I know what like real hard work and real difficulty is. You know what I mean? And then you come back to college and it's like a joke. It's like, dude, like you're telling me I can't sit through this lecture for an hour, like twice a week. Like that's ridiculous. And then I just locked in again, and it was, got a couple of those letters in the mail, and it's like, hey, Ma, like I told you, like I'm not a worthless piece of shit in school. Like
I actually can do it.
You know what I mean?
So were you reserves?
So I was in the National Guard.
Okay.
I was stationed in Riverdale, just off 23. We trained a little bit. By trained, I mean, we trained monthly and then a couple weeks in the summer. We'd rotate in for deployments. When I was actually at basic training, a dude from my unit got killed in Afghanistan. He was a Essex County Sheriff's officer too. So that was a big deal. I remember when he died, like one of the drill sergeants was like, oh, like where the Jersey guys at? And we're like, oh, like here, drill sergeant. And they're like, one of your fucking guys just got killed. And then like, dude, these guys are like ruthless. They were like, imagine that. He probably got killed because he was in the National Guard. And like, I'm sitting there like, damn, bro, like the fuck? Like, we're wearing the same fucking uniform. Like, and then he's like, all right, now, like as you were, like, and he like waves me off. And like, so I remember coming back from basic training, like, shit, like my unit's going to be weird. Like they just lost a dude. And now I'm the new guy that's like, hey, like, I have the same job that he has. I'm essentially replacing him. Like, my name's Frank. Like, nice to meet you at 20 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These dudes are coming back because they were in the shit in Afghanistan. And again, you lose a brother.
Yeah.
So his pictures, his murals were everywhere. Like he had all types of stuff. They renamed the road that our I wouldn't call it barrack, but like where our company was. They renamed the road after him. So it was a big deal. Like we were doing charity events for him too. But somehow I got lucky. We were supposed to go to what ended up being a combat deployment in Africa. We were supposed to do that while I was in. For some reason, it kept getting pushed back. And and I just never. I got out, and then they went like a year later and like killed a bunch of dudes and got awards for it, and then like that was it.
Could have been a totally different storyline.
Oh yeah. So and again, like when you're younger, it's always like I wish I was there. Like that's how you get respect. But it's like I'm big in my faith, and I just believe that God just didn't have that plan for me. And
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I don't know. Like maybe I'm the next. George Oliveira that gets killed in Africa, the one National Guard guy that gets killed, that now they're renaming the other street after me. You know what I mean? So you never know. And I mean, I'm definitely blessed for not having to deal with that while I was in the military.
Yeah. I mean, you get sent out and sounds like they did some shit out there. Yeah. That's a lot of baggage to come home with too.
100%.
Already with all the crap that you've been through at this point, up until that point, like God's plan was different. But So, National Guard, you said?
Yeah, the Army National Guard.
2 years?
6.
6. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure exactly what the timing is. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 3 by. What are the contracts? It's 2 by 6 and then 6 by 2. So if you sign a 2-year contract, it's 6 years in active reserve, and then if you sign a 6-year contract, it's 2 years in active reserve, and then there's a bunch of benefits. Mm-hmm. Like I did the one so they could pay for my college, my future college, and then reimburse me for my previous college. So that's why I did 6 years, because they didn't offer that if you signed up for 2.
Makes sense.
So that was big with just where I was with my life, was that I enlisted to help my family pay for 4 kids to go to college. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's a lot.
I kind of just viewed it as like, I got to help my brother's situation, which, looking back on it, it didn't really help their situation. But at the time, again, I'm young. I think my parents have X amount of money, and it's like, well, I don't want them to spend that on me. Like they could spend it on my brothers.
Yeah.
So that's, partially why I enlisted. And granted, it didn't work out that way, but that's just what it was.
Yeah, but to have that mentality and mindset at that young age is impressive. Then you look back on it, then you're like, and that definitely was from having to take over at such a young age. That's awesome.
Just just every decision I've made, early in my life was related to my brothers. Like I didn't go out of state for school so that I could be local to them. Again, I joined the Army thinking I was helping their college financial situation. Even like going into law enforcement, a part of it was related to my brothers. It's like I could maybe be that get out of jail free card. You know what I mean? It's just like, again, everything I do is for my brothers or at least with them in mind, no matter what I'm doing, even today, like anything. Yeah, even just my fitness journey and me trying to get into jiu-jitsu and me just trying to do anything to be different than I was the day before. Like that's all to just set the example for my brothers. You know what I mean? And we're all, my youngest brother's 28, my other brother's 30, my other brother's 33. Like I'm 34. That's all. I mean, it's for me too, but it's for them as well. You know? And my one brother just had a daughter a couple years ago.
Congratulations.
He's gonna continue to try to have kids and then build a bigger family. And that now I'm an uncle. Like, so now I have more little people that I want to try to be a good example for.
So, fucking love it. Uncle life is great.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that's
dude,
awesome.
It's the best. Yeah. Especially when it's a girl.
It's smelly diaper. You take it.
Yeah, because that's when it's like, oh, I'm not your dad. So, like, here you go. So
no, that's awesome, dude.
So how did you transition the cop career?
So everybody, it seemed like everybody in the Guard was a cop. So that's all I'm around are cops. And I always had thought about it. So like a quick, throwback moment in my life was when I was 11, I actually witnessed the second plane hit the tower. When I was in 5th grade, the homeroom teacher just had the TV on. The news was on because it was, originally it was just like plane crashes into World Trade Center. So it wasn't a terrorist attack at the moment. And then the TV's on, and then the second plane hits. And then my teacher was like scrambled, like shut the TV off. And like I'm sitting there at 11 years old, like what was that? Mm-hmm. Like I thought the one plane already hit. Like what does that mean? And that teacher, I'll never forget it, but he was just like, Frank, the world will never be the same. And again, like it took me like my whole life, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And And I think the biggest thing that started law enforcement at a younger age was it's a fire in my mind. It's a fire, and there's cops like running into the World Trade Center. And I'm like, again, I'm thinking to myself, like, what are cops doing, like running into the World Trade Center? Like, that's a fireman's job.
Yeah.
Like, where are the fire trucks? Meanwhile, the planes hit well above what a fire truck is capable of. But I just kind of viewed it at a young age, like, wow, like cops are like real life superheroes. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it was at a younger age. And then it kind of fizzled out in high school because like you're like too cool for the police in high school. And then in college, you're kind of like a little still too cool for the police. But then I got an internship with an old chief that was like running the Bergen County Police Academy. So I got to just essentially be like his wingman, just follow him everywhere. And so now I'm around all these recruits, and it's like, oh man, like this stuff's pretty cool. Like these guys are all in the military or ex-military, and that just kind of started it. And then when I graduated, I tried to get into sales, and I hated it because at the time I was working for a company that was essentially selling PSE&G to like poor people. It was like selling garbage to garbage men. And you're like ruining these people's lives, trying to convince them that paying a fixed rate is the way to go. Meanwhile, they don't use their electric bill when they don't have money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just like the guilty conscious after just like a week or two.
Yeah.
I remember quitting. And then my one uncle, he worked for a big engineering company. He got me a job there. Did that for like a year. And now I'm 24 and I'm kind of like falling down that rabbit hole again of like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And then, just again, like that fire for the police just kind of built. And then I reached out to a couple of my friends who had started down in Wildwood as like the boardwalk guys. And they're like, hey, listen, like it's competitive right now. 2016 was very competitive in this state if you wanted to be a cop. So, but what wasn't competitive was the shore towns because they needed all the help they can get. Yeah. So like, dude, you may just have to suck it up like at 24 and just go down the shore and just be a shore cop.
What is it? The shore cops, are they... the alternate, what is it?
So class twos.
Class twos. That's
so basically what that means is you get full police power on duty, and then once your shift is over, like your gun goes in a locker and you leave. You have an ID that says you're a part-time cop, and that's it. Like you can't carry anything. Again, because most of us were underage anyway, so you can't even like a lot of my classmates couldn't even like carry guns.
Yeah, my wife had the academy 3 years ago, and one of the guys was like just barely 18.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it's like you can't legally buy the
people
pistol
are like
that
doing
you
that now, man.
Yeah.
Like it's people are getting in at 18. Like in Fairfield, we're full time. Like we have two dudes that are 19 years old. So which you see, there's plenty of times when like they're on like car stops and literally civilians are just like, bro, like the fuck out of here. Like get a real cop here.
Get your dad here.
How many times like
go get your dad.
I was on the desk one time and one of our brand new guys, he's a great kid. Yeah. Big wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy, like tough kid, but he's 19. Like what does he know about the world, and literally he asked we have a 10 code for, I won't say it, but we have a 10 code for need assistance. Yeah. So one of my boys, one of the senior guys on my squad, he goes over there and he like clears like 2 minutes later. So I'm thinking to myself like, oh, like what the hell was that? And then my friend comes in, he goes, bro, like the dude literally wouldn't give his ID because he said that our young guy, wasn't real. He's like, nah, he's too young. He's like, get a real cop here. Dude, like, meanwhile, this is a full-time officer. Yeah. Like, he has just as much power as anybody else that wears our uniform. And so that's the one problem you see, because that's the mentality down the shore. It's you're a boardwalk cop, you're a rent-a-cop, you're all like the derogatory names that they would call us. But meanwhile, we're in foot pursuits for armed robberies, and it's like, okay, well, when you need us to go chase somebody with a gun, we're the cops. Yeah. But when you're drinking in an open container on the boardwalk, now we're just rent-a-cops and we're bums and we're like mall security and all the other shit that they were calling us. But Wildwood was a zoo, man. It was sick.
I'm sure.
Best way to start a law enforcement career, in my opinion. But my very biased opinion, because that's literally what it is. It's a free for all. You don't do any of the bullshit paperwork. You don't do any of the processing. You literally put handcuffs on people. You call a full-time guy. The full-time guys come and scoop them up, and you go back on your post. And you do it like 10 more times that shift.
And you really cut your teeth on the fun stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, it was awesome.
Avoid all the paperwork. Nice.
Yeah. And we'd be in our friggin' ties and our button downs and like the most uncomfortable.
It's the summertime.
The running joke was like old school cops will call it the dildo uniform, and it's like literally like that's what it was. And you had all the equipment on your belt. Like we didn't have outer carriers like we have now.
Dude, your hips
oh my god,
sore,
you'd be sweating profusely because it's the worst material in the world. And then on top of that, all your vests and your plates are underneath. So I was always paranoid because I was a military guy at this time. So I put rifle plates in my vest also, which was heavy. You know what I mean? It increases the weight of your vest by almost double.
You mean Call of Duty doesn't make it justice by just putting a fucking plate in there?
No. It's a little bit more complicated than that.
Did your coworkers just stare at you like, why are you rocking the rifle plates?
Some of them were military too, so they kind of understood. But it was one of those where whatever. I was like, dude, I'm not dying doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm going home at the end of my shift and like I'll sacrifice myself for you guys, but I'm not going to be in a situation where I want a doctor standing over my bed telling my mom if he had a rifle plate in, like he'd still be alive. You know what I mean? So, because even to this day, I wear rifle plates no matter what. On patrol, I have a shock plate, I have 2 rifle plates, and then I have my actual vest. So my vest
is very plate?
So essentially, it's just like a sheet of metal that just absorbs concussion. So if I take a round to the side, it'll ripple, and that shock plate allegedly takes that energy.
So
it won't stop a bullet, but you put that in between your vest and the rifle plate anyway. Again, I don't know the specifics on what it is. It's just it was given to me when I was in Wildwood by one of the senior guys. It was like, hey, this is a shock plate if you want it. Mine's I just got a brand new one here. You can take my old one, and literally 10 years later, I still have that same shock plate.
Fuck yeah.
Could be expired. Who knows? In my eyes, it's just a piece of metal. So
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, but
so how long were you in the Wildwood police?
I was literally there for like 4 months.
4 months,
and then Fairfield, my hometown. My dad was out to dinner with one of his hometown friends who was at the time about to retire as a lieutenant in Fairfield. And they were just shooting the shit. Like he had a couple sons too. So, obviously he was friends with my dad. So they were just talking about, I think he had 3 sons. So it was like the 7 boys, like what are the boys up to? And he just started with me. He's like, oh, Frank, he's like, he's down in Wildwood. He's a class 2. And he was like, oh, well, like I'm fucking retiring soon. So Fairfield's going to be hiring. Like, why don't you tell him to apply? So then I applied. And that was it. That's all she wrote. The one lieutenant. So he kind of stepped to the side because he's like, I kind of know his father. Like, I don't want to be responsible for hiring him because I don't want people to think like I'm biased. Meanwhile, I've met the dude once in my life. Like realistically, like you don't know anything about me, but whatever. Like good on him because it was very like I had to earn that from the chief and from the one lieutenant at the time. And then obviously you go across the hall and it's like all my friends' parents that are like the town council. So it was a little bit, when you walk over there, I wasn't nearly as nervous. I was nervous because what was about to happen, but I wasn't nervous in a sense of like, these people are going to tear me apart. Like these people are smiling because they haven't seen me in 15 years and now I want to come back.
Yeah.
So, and then that's it.
That's cool.
And then I've been in Fairfield ever since doing various things. Still on patrol now. But I spent time, at one point halfway through my career, I spent time down in Newark, part of a task force, which is literally like what you see in the movies, like the plain clothes running through the hood, chasing people with guns and drugs and going to shootings and seeing dead people. And,
that's wild.
So that must be like a fucking eye opener in itself to see that. Like,
I think, and as we transition into like the jiu-jitsu part of the conversation, I think I always found there's so many different kinds of toughness. And I always, joke, like, listen, I'm very humble on the jiu-jitsu mats. I know what I'm capable of out there, and I definitely know what I'm not capable of. And I think it's just my toughness has nothing to do with jiu-jitsu or sports. I have a different kind of toughness. Like I've been in a gunfight as a cop. Like I was in a shooting, fatal shooting. And then I spent time in Newark like you're on auto theft and then you're on narcotics, but it all revolves around homicide because that's just what it was. And now you're going to shootings and you're coming up and like you pull up to the hospital to try to start investigating. And then this kid jumps out of a taxi cab with 7 bullet holes and I'm pouring blood. And then he just faints on the ground in front of you. And it's like, dude, it's completely different. Like it's a different mentality. It's a different way of toughness. But the problem is I don't even know how else to explain it other than like the next day when you go to work, like you got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And it could be different. Like this time they could be still shooting at you while you're waiting down at the hospital. Cause that's just kind of what it was. Like everybody who's shot is going to eventually make it to University Hospital. So go down in the hospital and start picking people up as soon as they get there. And I mean, you have cars with like bullet holes all over them. Like I have some like the craziest pictures of just my time down in Newark. Literally like 4 or 5 dudes like popped out of a Charger one time. There's like 8 bullet holes in the Charger and they all just run into the ER, just bleeding everywhere. And it's like, bro, like what the hell?
Where's University Hospital?
Dude. Is that so it's right off First, so because I went to that NJIT. One exit, that First Street, right?
Yeah, I think
and then I think that becomes Bergen Street.
Yeah.
Is it Bergen?
Did it again, Joe.
Yeah, I think it's just off Bergen.
But it's in Newark, right?
But it's in Newark. It's just off 280.
So it's
First Street, and then I think you keep going, and First Street becomes Bergen.
So like if First Street becomes Bergen because you have Prudential a little down the way, and then Rutgers University to the up,
and then NJIT is like just off the highway.
NJIT's in like the hood.
Yeah, right? A couple of my cousins went to NJIT. Yeah.
So that's where I went, and they've changed a lot since I've gone.
Oh yeah, but it's like it's getting nice over there.
Yeah, but it's.
And listen, like there's so many parts of Newark too. Like it's beautiful. Like especially like the Ironbound section, the Portuguese section. That's one of my favorite places to be during the World Cup. Is the Portuguese section in Newark with one of my college teammates. He's from Portugal. Well, I busted his balls because he's actually from here, but he claims he's from Portugal. He's just like one of those like Italian Portuguese guys. And I've now we were already planning like this summer what we're going to be doing for the Portugal game.
Fuck yeah.
And this will be the 3rd World Cup now that we're going to have like the same plans. And it's always an absolute shit show.
Fuck yeah.
But we're just more responsible this go around than we were a couple World Cups ago. But
so I just looked it up. It's like 2 or 3 blocks away, kind of.
It's you make close. A left and then it's right there. Like I could drive there right now and get there, but to explain it with streets, it's like, shit.
It's close to NJIT. So it's just funny. He's going to school there. And like, you're college students, and like the Rutgers, Newark's right there too, and then Bergen County I think is close or something like that because whatever. But there's like so many college students, and you're 3-4 blocks away.
Oh, we're all in there
dealing with
So I mean, you're not like one pinpoint location in Newark that's a bad area is like where Bergen Street meets Lions. And like we'd always say, if we have nothing to do, let's just hit Bergen and Lions and go find something to do. And that means just look for people that have guns and drugs. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, there's very, very bad parts of Newark, and then there's parts where like I think it's nicer than Boonton, Rockaway, you know what I mean? So
is MLK Boulevard and MLK Junior Boulevard is not always like the worst streets or something?
That's like a running joke. It's a town.
What's the one nickname street? Was it ITB? Irving something Boulevard? ITB, Bergen, Lions. And then SOA, so South Orange Ave. Depending on where.
Dude, South Orange Ave is fucking
those
crazy.
Are kind of your reference points for streets in Newark. Pretty much all our jobs were around those areas.
Major ones,
But then we would do stuff like, I remember, you guys ever heard of K2? It was kind of bigger like when we were younger. I remember a couple of people were overdosing while we were there, and they were like, go down to the train station. Somebody's selling shit and people are dying. And I remember we were just like now trying to look for K2, and normally it's like coke, heroin, meth mixed in here and there, but specifically it's like heroin based because obviously that's just the big thing. That's always been the big thing. And but I remember doing jobs for like K2, and then we would be sitting at the train station. It's like all the wealthy people are down there. You know what I mean? Like everybody's coming in and out of the city. Like, what are we doing here? Looking for like synthetic weed, But that was the beauty of narcotics and auto theft. Literally every day was a movie, and we watched a different movie every day.
Well, you lived it.
What is that like though? For like, how do you compartmentalize, and then what do you do to, I guess, sort of deal with having to replay the same chaos every day, or a different chaos, I should say?
I think it's like you shut off that side of being a human being. It's like I'm so numb to that type of stuff. I mean, even like accidents, like it's horrific, but like fatal accidents, like I'm just numb to people, like dead people. Mm-hmm. And I mean, most cops, and the thing is, it's graphic when it's a gunshot, but like how many regular cops like go to somebody's grandma like dead, and that grandma's been unseen, unheard of for a couple of days, and now like their body's like rotting inside. Like that fucks with people too, especially like younger cops. Like I've been blessed. I've actually never been to a decaying body before in my career. I've actually never been to a suicide, which I believe, you know, because of my past and dealing with mental health stuff throughout my life, like I feel like those would probably hit me a little bit more, because it's like, shit, like that could have been me when I was 15, 16, thinking about that stuff, or like in high school. But yeah, you just kind of pick and choose. And then you just need your outlets. Like you just need the ability to talk. And like I'm a first generation, well, I guess my grandpas were in the military, but that was like a different era. But like my uncles, my dad, not military, not police. You know, obviously like none of my aunts are military or police. So I don't have anybody really blood related to me that understands. I mean, my one grandpa, who was he was a sergeant first class in the Army. He died before I became a cop. And then my one grandpa, he's older now. You know, he's kind of unfortunately on his way out. He's got like that dementia. Yeah, he's got like that early stages dementia. So it's hard to have conversations with him because he essentially just repeats the same thing over and over again. But like even so, like I don't think he was not during wartime. So it's not like he didn't really see anything. And then I didn't really see anything in the military. And then when I became a cop, it's like all my life experience is like from being a police officer, not from being a military guy, which is also hard to explain sometimes too. Yeah. Because all these stories I tell people like, oh shit, like you must have seen some shit in the military. I was like, nope, Fairfield, New Jersey. That's where I've seen all my stuff. You know? Like, so, and then obviously Newark, but that was tied to me being in Fairfield. So, fuck. But yeah.
So how did jiu-jitsu come into the picture?
So jiu-jitsu, believe it or not, I've actually never really told this story to my jiu-jitsu friends, but I actually did jiu-jitsu for a year before I went to the academy 10 years ago. And I was only a white belt. I got a couple stripes.
Where'd you train?
In Denville. Okay. Henzo Gracie in Denville.
Nice.
And it was tiny at the time. It was when it was across the street from the Valley National Bank on the other side of the, what is that, Broadway. And then it's like South Main Street or whatever Main Street. So it was on the other side before it's now it's next to Diamond Spring Brewery. But yeah, so I started there. I don't remember much other than
how you got to doing that 10 years ago.
Boxing was big in policing in the academy up until probably like 10, 12, 13 years ago. And they started transitioning to more jiu-jitsu style approach for defensive tactics. So I had boxing experience, but I had never had jiu-jitsu experience or wrestling. Because they basically said, like, if you're a wrestler, you're going to dominate in the academy. And I was like, great, well, I'm a swimmer, so I'm clearly not going to dominate.
Let's jump in the water, then I'll win.
I was like, during the swim test, all the wrestlers will come to me.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to get a little bit of experience. I was a kid, like, you like some of these white belts that are coming in at 22, 23, they're absolutely electric, go way too hard, don't get hurt somehow. They could bend their bodies all types of ways, and they literally just come the next day. And then I just remember, like, I stopped because I was like, hey, like, I'm not, again, I think this one guy may still be there, so I'm not going to sit here and like bash another school. But I was like, hey man, like, I just got hired in Wildwood. Like, I'm probably going to be there for like a year. I'm 24. Like, I don't really make money. Like, I can't afford this membership if I'm down there. And he like beat around the bush. He was like, well, in order to get out of your contract, because obviously I signed a 2-year contract because it was the cheapest payment. Like, again, I'm a kid, like trying to just improve my life with the limited funds that I had. And he just was not helpful. Like, he was just like, no, like a contract's a contract.
Yeah.
And I'm like, seriously? Like A, I'm a kid. B, I'm doing this for work. It's not like I got a house in Belmar and I don't feel like paying my membership while I go party down the shore. Like I'm trying to like better my life so that I could try to get back up here so I could do this consistently. And he just was like, no, like, sorry. And so I ended up not knowing how to deal with it. So I canceled my credit card and I stopped answering. And then eventually a couple months later, I was in collections because they sent it to collections.
Yeah.
And then I had to like, I think I hired an attorney to try to negotiate some type of payment. And long story short, I ended up having to pay them like $1,000 to get out of my contract at 24 years old. Like, dude, I didn't know. Like that was like all the money I had at the time just to get out of a contract because I wasn't going to be there for 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And then, so then that left a sour taste in my mouth when it comes to just jiu-jitsu, because now my only experience with the jiu-jitsu community is a horrific one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they don't give a fuck about me. Like they just want me to pay them. And like, that's it. So I just progressed through my career. And then, so let's just for reference. So that was 2016. And then, now I'm a cop, 2020, 2021, 2022. My girlfriend at the time, her brother wrestled Division I. He wrestled at UPenn, like made nationals. Like he was disgusting at wrestling.
Yeah.
And so that kind of, I was like, oh shit, like, dude, this dude's like almost 30 and he's still a fucking beast and his cauliflower ears all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I kind of want to do jiu-jitsu. Just because I want to look, and mind you, his name was Frank also. So I was like, I kind of want to look like Frankie. Like, fuck it. And then, but I still didn't do it. I was like, but then I got to be like the new guy again. Like, I'm over 30 now. Like, I'm too old to start. And it just goes back to like that telling yourself you're too old or not good enough or not this, not that. So now fast forward another couple of years. So now we're in 2023, because believe it or not, I'm a 2-stripe white belt, and I've literally been at Pure since 2023. And we'll get into all my story when it comes to that. But we were at a call at the hotel. I was with all the dudes on my squad, all dudes that are way, way smaller and not as strong as I am. And I'm not saying I'm some Hulk superhero, but
you're still over 6 foot.
Yeah. Over 6 foot, over 230 pounds. Yeah. And I was with 3 dudes that just, like, 2 of them wrestled in high school. So it's not like they're wimpy, but they're just tiny.
Yeah.
Like none of them, I think, are over 175, 180 pounds. And they were struggling with this dude. And I was wrestling with his uncle.
Yeah.
By myself, got him to calm down. Like we were kind of like, it was like stand up, like I'm about to toss you, calm the fuck down. And then he finally calmed down. Like, and then I ran over to the other kid and then I just grabbed his ankle. Like at one point, like I'm pressing his head down. Like essentially what happened was this kid, he was high as a kite, all drugged out on coke. And he just got into like a brawl in the middle of the lobby. And then he was going nuts. So it was a disorderly person call, possibly under the influence. And we were just trying to get his story and he just snapped. And then all of a sudden they're like, I guess my boss was one of the guys there, was like, hey, dude, you're under arrest, disorderly conduct. And he was like, fuck you, like, get me in handcuffs then. And they couldn't. And so like now I'm helping them wrestle this dude. And then he calms down, we get him inside. And my one buddy, I mean, listen, he's a good dude. I don't think he meant ill will towards it, but he makes like a sarcastic comment to this kid, like while during processing, because he had like mulch in his pocket. He goes, oh, you want me to log this as property? And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, like you couldn't get him in handcuffs for like 10 minutes. And now you're like busting his balls. His handcuffs are off.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, me being big doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Like, and again, at the time I thought it did.
Yeah.
And then I joined Pure and I realized that my size means fucking nothing, because I literally take the desk at 3 a.m. because just at the time, like, we didn't have dispatchers. So I'm on the desk at 3 a.m. and I type in Google. I'm doing it for the camera. So I type in on Google. I'm like, jiu-jitsu near me, 07866, the Rockaway area code, and Pure pops up. So I click Pure. I look at the ratings, like, the Denville place came up and I was like, fuck that.
Go back
like,
there.
Delete that. And then there was another smaller gym, I think in Rockaway somewhere. It's like a dojo gym, but I think they have some jiu-jitsu, but it didn't seem like it was big. And then I look at some of the pictures of Pure and I'm like, damn, like this place is huge. And so it's like any questions, it's like a generic Mike and Andy like set something up where it's like a generic, like put in your name, your email, your phone number, and we'll reach out to you. Dude, literally, like, this is probably 3:30, almost 4 a.m. now. I think at like 5:30, I get a text from Mike. He's like, hey, like, Mike Main, the co-owner of Pure MMA. We saw your inquiry about, Pure. Love to have you out to go over some stuff, like show you around, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, in that moment, I'm like, nah, this is real. Like, I'm not doing this. But it was something about his text. I was just like, dude, this is like, it's fucking like 5-something in the morning on the weekend. And this really guy's like answering me. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm going to go. So
it'd be rude not to.
A couple of days later, I was going on vacation, but then I came back like a week later. I told Mike that. I was like, hey, like, I'm actually leaving for vacation like in 2 days, but I'll come back after. He goes, all right, like, definitely, man. Like, I think he kind of thought like, this guy's bullshitting me. He's saying he'll be here in a week. But I actually showed up and Andy was there. I think it was just like one of those generic like gi classes, like a 12 p.m. gi class, because they told me to come in the afternoon around lunch.
Best class, by the way, 12 p.m.
Yeah, oh yeah. And Andy's there and he's like, hey man, like I'm Andy, like you spoke to my brother Mike. Love to have you. Like, heard to your background, like you're a police officer, like we definitely support the police here, blah, blah, blah. And I had heard about a jiu-jitsu program in law enforcement. You guys familiar with it? What is it? Adopt a Cop?
Adopt a Cop.
So obviously Andy was like, listen, man, we don't do that here, but we help you guys out. Like you pick like a contract, and if you want to get out of the contract, like we don't bust your balls. And I'm like, all right, like that's good to hear. Because I had this issue 10 years ago with a different place. So that was very assuring. I'm like, you know what? Because like now I'm thinking like, what if I get hurt? Or like, what if I'm on nights and I just can't get here? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm just like do it for a month. And I'm like, like I can't do this shit, and then I quit. So right then and there, I was like, all right, done. Like I'm signing up, blah, blah, blah. The first class I get to, now I meet Ashley. Love Ashley.
Yeah,
so I meet Ashley.
Yep.
We're chopping it up. Like, again, just more introductions. And then I found out that Ashley's grandpa was actually the former police chief of Fairfield.
Oh, nice.
So right away, I'm like, dude, like this place is unbelievable. Like I'm not only like the two owners are like the coolest dudes in the world, but now like the manager I could relate to on like a professional level because like her grandpa wore the same uniform that I wear now. Like this is phenomenal. And then, dude. And then I just started training. I was coming like once or twice a week, and then I would ramp it up a little bit, and then we'd tweak something, and then I'd be out for a couple of weeks, and then I'd come back, and like that's just been kind of my jiu-jitsu experience. But it's been, like I wouldn't change it for the world, but I definitely wish I was different in some ways when it comes to just jiu-jitsu, because again, stemming back to my whole life, I'm not a quitter. I don't like quitting. I don't feel good losing. And I struggled early on with submitting. So it's like you would get me in an arm bar and I'm like, well, you better snap it off because I'm not tapping. and then my elbow popped and I tore my UCL. And so I missed all of 2025 recovering from an elbow injury. Same thing with a knee. I got caught in like some friggin' leg lock and I ended up tearing my MCL. I was like, I'm not fucking tapping. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm not a wimp, And then you tear something in your knee. And then now it's just like, bro, like this is not the place to have an ego.
Yeah, no.
And you just see it every day. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is specifically with the women. Like I get made fun of here and there by some of like the girls that I'm friendly with here. For being too nice, but it's like I also came in here thinking like I could kill you like easily, and then specifically like I'll just speak on Ashley because I mean I have a good relationship with Ashley, but like she's like one of the hardest people to roll with.
She's
and
good.
Like,
she's really good.
Like once in a blue moon, I think I have an Americana with her. Or I have something, and then like her shoulder like goes all types of ways, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? If you did this to me, I'm tapping because that hurts. Like, so not only like are they just tougher than everybody?
No, she's a beast.
Look, she's tougher than me, but like you also can't do half the stuff that you could do with men because they're just more flexible. They like are ruthless. So, but
yeah, no, it's a good point, and it brings like it's humbling, right? You're like, holy fuck, this is a different art.
Oh yeah, they do 1,000%. You know, and then even like again, so before I do jujitsu, like I just saw the smaller guys at work. I'm like, you know, I've had arguments before where I'm like, dude, I'm 6'2", 200 and like I've never really been under 220 since I stopped swimming, and I'm like, dude, I lift, I run, like I'm in shape. Like you smaller like wrestlers, like bro, I'd kill you guys. And then you go to Pure and you're like.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
I'm not killing anybody.
My favorite is when I see Mikey go against big guys.
Oh, dude, you know how many times I've been caught in Mike's body triangle, and I literally feel like I'm gonna die.
The fact that he can get around your waist is impressive,
dude. Dude. I mean, listen, I don't roll with Mikey all the time.
He tapped me 5 times.
Oh, dude.
To a body triangle on Tuesday. I think I got tapped 8 times that roll, but 5 times was for the body triangle.
Yeah, and he's being like nice to me. Yeah. Like he doesn't even sweat, and he's like, I feel like my ribs are gonna cave in and snap,
bro.
You know, and then you have like other dudes like Sal, who is my size, and he's Sal.
Yeah.
So so it's like I had to give Sal a shout out at some point because that's just the homie. But then you have guys like him, and it's like, bro. Not only do I not know nearly as much as you, but we're the same fucking size.
Yeah.
So I'm literally just here to survive, like with my limbs and my breath. That's it. You know.
But it's funny though because based off of everything all the lessons you've had in life, like you could absolutely withstand it. It's just about just tapping and not fucking.
Yeah, I was just saying. The urge not to tap.
That's the problem too. Is I love being there. And you can't be there if you're gonna let some dude snap your arm because your ego is saying like, don't be a quitter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
I was wondering where you went for the longest time because when you came back, I was like, fuck, I haven't seen you in forever,
dude. I was literally all of 2025.
Yeah,
I had my arm snapped by one of the MMA guys. Totally, no ill will. Like, there's 0 chance he did it on purpose. But again, like the MMA guys are like. Dude, if you don't tap, like they're gonna do what they do.
Yeah,
they're all fucking animals. And that happened in March of 25. But I got COVID in January, and my lungs were hurting for a little bit. So I was like, give me like an extra month, and then I'll come back in March. And then I had plans of doing NAGA in Morristown last year, and then my elbow snapped literally day 1, and then I was out until September.
Jesus Christ,
dude! Literally, it was like the 3rd roll. Snapped my elbow. Take off the whole summer, come back in September, roll 1, broke my thumb. So somebody was going in for, Brian, bald dude with like the goatee, he's a blue belt. Nicest dude in the world. His daughter like trains at Pure. He's got glasses. I don't remember his last name.
Fuck. I'm sorry, bro, if we know it. I'm
but he's but anyway, like nicest dude in the world. He was just going for like a single, and I don't know what happened. Like my hands were here. I think I was like trying to like catch him, and he just caught my thumb, and my thumb went all the way in, and I felt the pop, and I'm like, dude, you gotta be kidding me! Because the next morning I woke up, my thumb was like black.
You can't catch a break. God kept telling you, just wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Just wait a little longer.
But that's like, I struggled with that too, because now I'm out September, October, November. I think I started to come back again in December. And now I'm getting to the point where it's like, okay, like, dude, is God just like telling me like jujitsu is just not for me? Like every time I come back, I get hurt. And it's not like your tweaks. Like I'm breaking bones and tearing ligaments. You know what I mean? And then I think I just kind of changed my mindset. I was like, going into this year, I was like, I'm just going to change my mindset. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. That's it. There's no like, as soon as my arm is going like this, like as soon as I land tap, like that's it. I'm not going to like try to gator roll out of it and like be a hero.
Yeah.
If you get my ankle and I go to pull you and I can't pull you, I'm tapping. Like, there's 0 reason
that's
to
smart.
break your leg or tear a knee or hurt your arm or shoulder. Like
you're at the white belt ego phase of tapping 1000%. Right now. Once you get into that blue purple belt phase, you're like, okay, I should tap here. Do I have room to fight a little bit? Okay, let me fight a little bit. Okay, now I'm tapping.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at.
You're resetting back to ground zero.
Because there's even dudes that I don't know. Like even the other day, There's a purple belt. His name's Johnny. The only reason why I remember is because I added it on my Instagram because I struggle with names unless I add you on Instagram.
Is it Johnny
He's
Ortiz?
a Bridgewater cop.
Oh no, never mind.
So he's another cop. I don't even know his last name. But he's a good dude. But he's big. He's like my size. He's a purple belt. And dude, he was ragdolling me. And if I struggled with that ego problem I had when I was younger, where like not younger, like I was young, but like early on in my jiu-jitsu experience, if I was like that, he would have broke my elbow. He would have popped my knee, and I mean, I would have fainted because he choked me at one point too. So that one's a little literally less, because again, more recoverable. If it's a white belt, I'll fight it a little bit because there's a good chance if I get to a awkward position, he may not know how to finish. But dude, like a purple belt, like bro, if I twist one way, he's gonna be like, oh, right into the next one. You know what I mean? Like so I don't even bother with that. It's again, there's no issue. I'm not there to get hurt. I'm not there to hurt anybody. Which, you know, not that I'm ever in a position to hurt anybody at this point in my career, but you know, maybe one day.
Well, no, I heard a good saying from someone who was tap fast, train tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yeah. So I wish I understood that early, but you know what? It took me a couple of years, and now I'm at where I'm at. So,
but that was the lesson you had to learn. You had to learn it over and over again until you really learned it. But you know, that's a big lesson to take in jiu-jitsu. Everyone goes through their own phase of whatever that is, because there's been a lot of times I don't mind tapping at all. I've never had that issue, but every once in a while there's some people like you go with their lower belt and you're like, fuck you, I'm not tapping this, fuck you. And you're like, okay, I got out of that, but now my body hurts. Like you didn't submit me and I got out of it. It's not like something broke, but now like I got a month of like a cracked neck. It's like that wasn't worth it.
Because even too, like, again, I'm sure I like to think I'm not the only one. But there's always like that one or two guys in the gym that like something about them just like rubs you the wrong way. Whether it's like they go way too intense. Sometimes like I'll just be, you know, like I have a hard job sometimes. Sometimes I go there pissed off. And like, dude, if you're like one of those guys that's like trying to grab, you know, behind the head, and you're like smacking my ear,
clubbing you.
You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, bro. Like,
you're bringing the wrong intensity.
But of course, where I'm at now, like I don't do anything about it because like I don't know how. But you know, one day, it's
one day I'll get you, you little rascal.
But it's funny because it's always the dudes that they're good dudes, but it's always the dudes that it's like, bro, like. You sit behind a desk at work too. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, we're on the same fucking team, you know? So, but it's good. But again, it's good though, because I as of now, I'm planning to compete at NAGA on April 26th, just because Mikey was putting it out. And then April 26th is actually the anniversary for my fatal shooting. So that'd be a cool way to honor my buddy who passed away from cancer, because he was there with me in that shooting. So that's what I'm working towards now.
That's a big day.
Yeah. So now I have to kind of retrain my mind to like, okay, well, that's maybe a place where you don't quit. You're not tapping right away, but at the same time, it's just a white belt tournament. Like, don't break your elbow at a white belt tournament. You know, so that's like where I'm kind of back and forth. Like, got to be a little tough because Ashley and Mike are going to be sitting right there waiting or watching and coaching, hopefully. And, but yeah, again, at the end of the day, it's just another tournament, and it's something cool to do, and it's cool to say you did. And, you know, my friend's mom's actually going to come too. So it's like going to be even more intense just to kind of have that face there.
I actually met my wife. So my wife trains at Pure. I didn't meet her. I didn't know who she was. I was training noon class at the time. She was training nights. I met her at a NAGA. That's how we started talking. But like having have you done NAGA? Awesome.
I've done that,
but having the team there, and like, we have dozens of people there all supporting, and whether like some of the guys from the gym that you never met before, we got the guy on Pure at Ring 5. Okay, cool. Everyone's cheering you on. Like, it's a fun event.
And that's just the community here in general. Like, even just a quick touch on like all the not the conspiracy. What's like that stuff that's going around about like black belts like abusing their power with women?
Like it's scandals.
Like a big exactly. It's been a long day. I'm like losing words. But like all the scandals and stuff, and like again, I'm not laughing at what these poor girls are dealing with in other gyms, but like I'm laughing in a sense. It's like, bro, like that is not pure at all. Like I feel bad for people. Like this is like paradise. You know what I mean? Like
we are spoiled. And what's nice is like you had a year experience of a different gym.
Oh yeah.
So I think
that's why I appreciate Pure more, is because everything that I experienced, like, dude, there's a good chance. If I joined Pure 10 years ago, like I could be...
You'd be a black belt.
Potentially, I'm a black belt right now. And like one of the guys standing next to Mike all these years. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe. I don't know. My white belt journey, I don't know. I'd probably still be a blue belt.
I was just talking to Mike about this today. I've known him for 12 years.
Yeah.
And I'm a brown belt, so... Scott got his black in
10, I think 10,
8
right? Or 8,
9,
8,
10,
8,
something
9,
like that. So
it's the journey is yours, right? You're gonna get there when you get there.
Oh, dude, 100%. And I'm not gonna quit either. Like this, even if this turns into something that I'm coming once a week, like bro, I'm not here again. The ego thing is gone. I don't care if I'm a blue belt 10 years from now. If I'm still here at Pure enjoying myself and hanging out with all you guys all the time, like, I don't.
I was going to say, from how you talk about it, you sound like you enjoy it way too much.
Quitting, which is probably why I get labeled as the nice guy on the mat. I don't want people to think I'm a wimp, but like, you know, it is nice to hear people say, oh, like, Frank, he's such a nice guy. Man. He just kind of smiles when we're rolling, and then like we go to the next person.
The compliment, though, is when the girls feel comfortable rolling with you.
Oh, yes.
That is a huge compliment.
I don't think I've ever had an issue where, like, I was like, hey, like, it's just me here. Do you want to roll? And a girl's like, no way. You know what I mean? So, again, I'm not friends with too many of the girls. I just know, like the popular ones, like Ashley, Mackenzie, you know, like those girls. But,
but, like, because I've been up here for 12 years, and, like, when I was coming up, Quinn, they own Toro, like, I was and Ashley like those like I trained with them. There's not many people my I'm 5'9", 170 at my heaviest, right? I'm a smaller dude, so like the girls like more towards people my size,
right?
But like you have some people at the gym that are my size that are just shit bags to roll with, like you know. There's always creeps that come through the gym every once in a while. They kind of weed themselves out.
Yeah, I've heard some of the stories with some of the older
for the girls to feel comfortable and want to roll with you means a lot because especially for you because it's so much bigger.
Yeah.
Rolling with people smaller than you and meeting them at their athletic level it's not a skill that is known. You don't know how to do it. So the fact that they feel comfortable rolling with you is a huge compliment.
And I think that too is my experience rolling with women is different because I still don't know how I should move.
Yeah.
So what I essentially do is I just use my body weight and it's like, okay, if you're going to submit me, like you have to move me.
Yeah.
And if you don't move me, then I'm going to sit here.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's where some of the compliments like, oh, you're too nice because I'm not actively doing anything offensively, but I'm just like, I'm going to sit here. And if you can't move me, you're not going to submit me. And you're going to be like holding your breath for 5 minutes. Yeah. And I guess like that's enough for some of the girls where they're, you know, they bust my balls and just say I'm too nice.
But it's still good though too, is because you're a big dude.
Yeah.
So to move you around is still hard.
They're sweating profusely trying to move me.
And but it's you know, it's definitely good practice regardless because to have to manipulate move, like even if you don't resist, that's a lot to do to get in the right position. That's a great foundation. You'll progress more through that. But that's a huge compliment.
So I like to think so, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is.
It is. Especially up here.
I had that one time. I was going to for work. I was going to Aberdeen for testing, and there's a gym down there. I can't remember the name right now. But there was a girl she's a purple belt. One of the instructor's wives was training for a competition. Like, and I was been going to that gym several times. So like, all right, you two trained. Like, you're perfect fit for her. And that was a huge compliment. Like, they feel comfortable with me rolling with their girl who is an instructor's wife. So like, it's a big compliment.
Yeah. And that's
that the girls feel comfortable.
Mess around. Yeah. Meanwhile, you have like Ashley. Like, I'll go 100%, and I get turned into a pretzel. And Cliff doesn't even have to worry. Like, I'm not going to do shit.
Yeah. Cliff's like,
I think you need to protect me, pal.
Cliff's sitting there making jokes. Like, yeah, she's going to beat you too.
Dude,
he beats me.
He has before. I remember the first time I rolled with Ashley, Cliff was sitting right there watching. And I'm not an idiot. Yeah. Like, even when I was brand new to the gym, like, I'm not an idiot. Like, I know who's dating and who's married and whatever. And I remember just feeling so uncomfortable because I'm like, bro, like I can't do anything. Like this dude will whoop my ass if I even touch his wife. And then she like put me in a triangle and then she put me in an arm bar, and then she like grabbed my ankle. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And then I'm getting to the point where like, dude, I don't even care that the guy's watching. I have to focus on her. He's getting killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that was like my favorite girl like story with Ashley, because like I literally had to redial in. Like, no, this chick is a threat. Like. I don't care about what's going on around.
I heard one of the funniest stories on a podcast of two friends, and the one guy owns the gym, and his friend started out, he's now a brown belt. And the one guy said he signed up for jiu-jitsu. His wife was watching him, and some girl beat the shit out of him so badly. he said he's like on the way home, he's like, I was convinced my wife was going to divorce me. Like, that was it. It's like when you don't know it, you're like, what the fuck? But when you train every day, you're like, oh yeah, that person's way better than me.
Like, like I knew the belt system, but again, you don't know. Like, I just assume the bigger guys are harder to submit, and then the chicks, like, they just roll with chicks, and then you learn quick at Pure. Like, that is not how it works.
That's not the case.
No.
And then you have you'll go with a Mikey who you're bigger than, and then all of a sudden he's tapping you with a fucking body triangle,
ragdolling you like you're a 5-year-old,
and you're like, oh, this
dude. And I remember the first time I rolled with Mikey too. So he very rarely. I don't. It's not like I'm paying attention to like surviving, but like once in a blue moon, if I watch Mikey roll, like for the most part, he just sits.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's like a come here, young fella. And I remember like, he literally sits, and I just walk up to him, and within a second I was on my back. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Well, he did like one of those where he grabs your hands, sneaks his feet behind your feet, and then goes like this. And then I'm pulling back, and then now I trip because both my feet are locked, and then he's on me, and then the body triangle 5 seconds later, and I'm like, God damn, bro.
Dude, every time I go up to him,
sneaky.
every time I roll with Mikey and he starts from sitting, and I'll walk up to him, I'm like, okay, I know what he's gonna do. It's gonna be a 2-on-1. Let's avoid it. And then next thing I know, I'm in a 2-on-1.
It's so infuriating because you're like, I know it's coming, dude. I'm trying everything to stop it, and he still gets it.
And I'm like, how?
Without a struggle. Without a struggle on his part.
That's probably my biggest. I need to work on that bad. Is I do not know how to get around people's guards.
And then
granted,
well, if you're trying to get around Mikey's guard, like, good luck.
I mean, Ashley, obviously, she like rolls on her head,
Ashley's
like,
what is it called? Gumby, like the fucking, like, you know, the fucking pizza thing or something, whatever. She's so goddamn flexible.
What you're talking about?
Isn't it Gumby?
Gumby,
yeah. Oh, dude. But
flexible.
Like she like rolls.
Yeah.
Like she like rolls on her neck and head. And it's like, bro,
Yeah.
what the hell? But then even Sal's a pain in the ass too.
Yeah, Sal.
He's like so big and
Sal's
like
tough.
I don't. Again, I
Sal's
still
a
don't
complete
really know
grappler,
what I know how to. I still don't know fully what I'm doing. But like sometimes I'll grab one of Sal's legs and just twist them, and then his other leg is like over here, and I'm like, all right, I feel good because I was able to move a big guy like you, but now I don't feel good because it's almost like you wanted me to do that because now I'm stuck in your legs and you scissor, and now I fall this way, and now he's on top of me, and now I'm dying.
Yeah. Do you know whose guard's also a pain in the fucking ass is Cooper. Cooper has a fucking good guard.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing with Sal. Like you'll think you get by him, and then the foot comes in.
Dude, who's the black belt, the older guy who teaches Monday gi?
In the morning or noon?
No, 6:30 p.m. Monday night. He gives out leads.
Dan.
Dude, he like lays on his side.
Yeah.
And I've only rolled with him like once or twice.
He's a good roller.
But I remember both times he was literally like laying like this, and I'm like, damn, this is like an older guy. Like maybe I'll just sit down and like just crawl in to the front. And again, the same thing. Like, dude, he's more brutal. With my experience with his submissions, like he presses, and he
it's a lot of pressure,
But again, he's not like obviously he's not mean about it, but it's like
brutal, yes, but it's like a polite brutal.
Very polite.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with Jude.
Yeah,
Jude is like very. His body is touching you completely, and all his submissions really hurt. But he's the most.
He's not ripping it, but
he's the least malicious person I think I've ever been around in my entire life.
Jude's mother's milk is like.
I'll be like, I learned what that was because of that.
Because sometimes he'll do it, and I'm like, I go, okay, I guess I just die. like, what do I do? Like what the fuck? No, but it's
No,
I guess I just die.
Because I don't want to tap to it. but I also can't move him because he's so fucking strong.
And that's a suffocation type.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I just died.
And then when you're sweaty, it's like you're getting waterboarded.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You
so
are.
that makes it even worse.
I just think of the scene from A Log Came Polly. The sweat. Yeah, that's the same.
But you know what it is? It's like Campese was on a couple episodes ago, and he was talking about it too. He's like, look, there's a part of me that when I roll with you, or just anybody with you, I'm gonna make some of the rolls hard. I'm gonna make them what do you say, brutal, because you have to keep that. That's part of the sport.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hurt you, but you have to.
I loved his podcast, and I loved what he said about that, because I think it just kind of goes to, how I'm trying to be better when it comes to rolling with women, and then like I kind of know what I can do with like you bigger guys, or just you dudes that like you say you're a brown belt, right? Like, and obviously you're a purple belt, but like I've rolled with you a bunch of times. Like I'm allowed to go more with you because you're gonna know exactly what I'm doing. You're gonna beat the shit out of me in the process of doing it, and then you're also not going to kill me or try to break my limbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I really appreciate it, like, especially coming from him. Like, he's so talented. And he was one of the first guys I was like, oh, shit. Like, I kind of wish I could be like him.
Yeah.
And, like, I've seen him do, like, fucking cartwheels around people. And I'm just like,
I love
when he goes with Scott. Because, dude, the two of them, it's like, it's like David versus Goliath. Like, they're like,
it's fun watching
it looks like they're trying to kill each other. And they're probably, like, two of the best buds in the world.
Yeah.
So that was literally, like, when he said that, I was like, dude, I've seen him roll with women, and he just like he flows and he just moves to like a different spot. And then when he goes with other black belts at Pure, he's like trying to kill everybody, and they're trying to kill him. And then they laugh and smile and dap up, and then they go on to the next one. And but that's the culture here.
That is the culture, and it's a great culture to have. It's great to know that you just went through a fucking battle. Maybe you got your ass kicked, or you did the ass kicking, and you can laugh about it.
Or the best ones too is like you get me one day, then like the next day I get you. And there's no ego. It's just like, bro,
dude. All right, it's like next time
we got a rematch next Thursday, or you know what I mean. And then my favorite class is now the competition, the no-gi competition Tuesday nights with Mike, and like that's cool in a sense of. A few weeks ago I was with Ali and Sal. Like, bro, come on.
And is it? Don't you guys do a lot of wrestling too?
It's essentially all wrestling.
And those two those
are two of the best that you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And then, but then like the next week you go with dudes that are white belts, and you're like, bro, like everything I couldn't do to Sal and Ali, I'm able to do to these guys.
Hell yeah.
So like. I'm getting better, but then the next week, then it's Ali and Sal again. And you're like, bro, fuck, I'm still not that good,
it keeps you in check, but lets you know your progress.
100%.
Love that.
Have you gotten anyone from your department to start training?
So my sergeant is a purple belt.
Okay, that's good.
He's his bones are kind of built like me. He gets hurt. He tweaks here and there. He's like 45. No, he's at a gym in Newton, I think. He lives in Mount Olive, but I don't think his gym is in Mount Olive. It's out that way.
He does. Okay.
If you guys said some names, I would recognize the name.
I don't know any names.
The gym I'm thinking about is Hackettstown.
It's not Colton Brown.
No, that's Warren.
Yeah, no, it's not Colton Brown, because I've heard that name.
Ronan is in Hackettstown.
It's a name. It's like a guy's name. It's not like a Pure. It's like a dude's name.
I got you.
But it's out towards Hackettstown, Mount Olive, that area, Blairstown, like that, out west. And then, my friend who passed away, Jimmy. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was like big news around here. The police officer from Fairfield that passed away 2 years ago from cancer. So he wrestled. He wrestled at Rutgers.
Okay,
I think he went D3 first, and then he transferred to Rutgers. Like superstar wrestler, and so it was just him, and that's it. I think we have like one other dude who trains jiu-jitsu, but then I was with him today during training that we had earlier. And he said he doesn't train anymore. And then I think this other dude that I work with, one of the detectives, I think he still trains, but I'm not sure. Like he was doing Adopt-A-Cop, and then he got his blue belt, and then now I don't know if he's still training.
That happens a lot.
I think he trains here and there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dude, we don't have the experience.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the two dudes that were the reason why.
The
big reason why. No.
Okay.
My fault. The one 19-year-old we have was a wrestler.
Yeah.
He's in stupid shape.
Yeah.
Like he's as soon as he matures a little bit, like physically, because he's literally a kid, he's going to be a problem and a good problem to have.
Yeah. Hopefully he starts training.
Yeah. So he's going to start training. He just started in Totowa somewhere.
Okay. Nice.
Toto was probably Cruz.
Yeah,
Jamie
I think he's with Cruz. I think I'm pretty sure
he's gonna be a savage.
Dude. Yeah, and he's 19. He eats clean. Like he's eating chicken and rice every meal.
And he's a wrestler.
And he's a wrestler.
Yeah, he's gonna be a savage.
And he's like short and stocky.
Oh, he's
literally built like my friend who passed away. We kind of laugh to this day that he's literally like Jimmy 2.0. Like he's literally Jimmy to a T. In obviously like all the best ways possible. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, dude, not many. That's the problem. Like my department is not big. Like obviously I know Andy and his department is like known for being like MMA guys. Like those guys are savages.
I'm pretty sure he said it too. His chief only hires like fighters.
Dude,
there's two. I think there's like a couple UFC fighters. There's one professional.
I didn't know he had UFC
one
fighters.
dude was like in the NFL. I think at one point,
and all knockouts undefeated and pro MMA, and he's 265 pounds.
And he was. Did he tell that on the podcast?
Yeah, he did.
Dude.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm 240.
Yeah,
and imagine like that dude,
right?
What he would do to me, let alone some of the dudes that I work with that are half my size and don't work out and don't train.
Right? I'm pretty sure he was. If I remember Andy's story correctly, he was a wrestler. Then he went to the NFL, played for the Eagles for a little bit, and then is a professional fighter, and all his wins are knockouts.
Right.
And you're 265.
Don't resist the rest with
Andy's
him.
episode was cool.
Yeah.
If for like that, and then like Billy's was fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Billy. No, I got a funny story about Billy's, which I told him about in the locker room. I was like, bro, like your episode was hilarious. So I stopped the car and my body cam was on, and I forgot to turn the volume off for his episode.
No fucking way. No way.
So like when later in the shift, I was like thinking about that because obviously like I would pause it if I got sent to a call, like I would pause the episode. And or sometimes when I get out with my phone, the episode will pause automatically, which is kind of nice because like I don't have to worry about catching up.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I remember getting back in my car and Billy's like telling some story about the plane.
Trying to get ahead on the plane.
I see the red dot in the corner. I'm like, God damn, bro.
It's just a podcast,
dude. Because I get in trouble all the time for music.
Yeah.
Not like, dude, you're not like getting fired or getting written up, but like the boss is occasionally like, yo, Frank, like, turn that shit down. If you're on a fucking motor vehicle stop, you're talking to somebody and you're blasting, EDM or whatever my music of the day choice was that shift. And then,
we need the camera.
And then it's Billy talking about getting a blowjob or pussy or
trying to get a blowjob on a plane, right?
It's so funny, dude.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but no, like honestly, man, like I've been such a fan of this podcast, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like he recruited me. Like I was like, bro, can I please go on your podcast? Like I want to be a part of this.
No, but hold on a second, for sure. And I did ask you at Pure while you were waiting to go to, I think, train after at a 7:30 class one day. I was like, bro, if you want to come on,
okay, yeah. I think because at that point I was trying to break the ice, like, hey, bro, like big fan of your podcast. Yeah. I'm available.
I was picking up what you put down. Bro.
We used to be better at saying at the end, whoever wants to come on, just ask. We haven't done that recently. But
we haven't.
It doesn't happen too often. A lot of people are shy, timid, but we like having people ask to come on.
Oh, we do. But even like when I'm coming in here, like I was sitting down, like I was hammering that rap because I was like getting a little nervous. I'm like, oh shit! Like now I have to. Because again, like I see the clock there, and then all these episodes are around 2 hours, and then when I sit, I'm like, dude, I don't know if like I could talk for 2 hours,
dude.
And now we're at that mark, and I'm like, bro, we could keep doing this. Like,
no, for sure. And what it is that's why when I told you coming on, I was like, it's very free flow, and that's why it's free flow. If this conversation only lasted an hour, that's fine. That's all it needed.
Yeah.
If it was an hour 15, that's all.
That's true.
But
that's true.
It's what like guests like you, right, who are able to tell a story and like to talk. It helps because it makes it more free flow.
Yeah.
It's great. We've had some people on, and I'm not gonna say names, but they're like, you got to ask me questions. Like I'm not gonna be.
Oh
able to.
no, bro.
And then they're like, we didn't like ask. You just went like
with this pace that we're at now. If you were like, yo, let's get to 4 hours, I could sit here for another 2 hours.
No, we've done it before.
We've done it before.
We have. So
no, it's funny because, like you said, we usually ask people, and I get it. Not every dude. It's not everyone's cup of tea to go on and talk about themselves or talk about whatever, right?
They're just no worries. People, whatever.
Yeah, and I no offense taken. I always tell people, hey man, if you want to come on or if you don't want to come on, that's fine. If the reason you don't want to come on is because you're nervous, a lot of people are. bro, just come on. Yeah. We're talking. We're talking, bro.
And for those people who are thinking about it, within 5 minutes, gone.
Yeah,
I've been on cruise control probably since minute 6.
Yeah.
And we're at minute 216.
Yeah. So, no, it's fine. That's why we like to do these things. It's fun to learn about people that you see every day or every week, I should say. It's fun.
Yeah. And then, like, listening, too, obviously. Like, while we're sitting here promoting you guys, like, I'm a police officer and I drive around on patrol and listen to all the episodes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. That means a lot to us.
And honestly, man, my favorite one is a friendship I'm building currently right now with Sam. Yeah. And it's like, dude, I met Sam just a few months ago at a Muay Thai class, and then I'm a follower of yours and I'm watching this podcast and I'm like, oh, like, dude, I just met this dude. Like, let me listen to his story. And then, like, halfway through, like, my jaws drop. I'm like, bro, I would have never in a million years, guessed this fucking story.
Right?
Like, and again, like, this is where the ego thing comes in. And I've always been so blessed because my parents never raised us to be that way. Mm-hmm. Again, when I mention ego, like, on the mat, that's personal. Like, I just don't tap. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the worst ego in the world to have. But I just mean, like, with the ego thing, it's like, I'm a police officer, and Sam is at one point in his life was like the bottom of life when it comes to, like, he was talking about how he was like selling TVs for like a bag. Yeah. And it's like, bro, like, now on the mats, like, I'm going to him for advice and I'm going to him to teach me about just like anything.
Yeah.
And he's taking time out of his day to help me. And I'm sure at one point in his life, he didn't view the police the way he probably does now. You know what I mean? And it's so cool to have relationships with all these different dudes and these chicks that have nothing to do with you in a sense of like paying your bills and you surviving in life, but like physically, but you wrap it into what they do for you mentally. And it's like, that's just worth, like, no amount of money is worth that. Like, if you can learn from every single person that you meet, in whatever capacity that you can learn in, like, that's why I like when I say and I recommend Pure to people who have interest in it, you know, because like I'm trying to get my youngest brother. He's moving up to North Jersey soon from Brick.
Oh, we'll get him.
He's a football, like, he's like 300 pounds, like 6'2", like 300 pounds.
God damn.
Maybe a little shorter than 6'2". I gave him a little too much credit. But he played football and he wrestled a little bit in high school. And I'm trying so hard to get him to come. And like, that's what I'm going on. It's like, bro, like, again, I was there too. It's not easy. Like, you may get there and I may beat the shit out of you and I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like, imagine what some of these dudes that know what they're doing are going to do to you. But it's like, it's a type of community where you just still want to come back the next day.
Yeah.
Like, you can get absolutely mauled for an hour and then the next day you're walking in and you're like, oh, what's up, bro? Yeah. Like, I can't believe you did that to me yesterday. Fuck you. Like, all right, but I'll see you out there, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
what's great with our gym too is, but like the community is the huge thing, but like, in that is, I beat the fuck out of you, but I'm now going to show you what you did wrong.
Oh, dude.
And you know how many times I roll with him, I'm like, dude, you keep doing the same stupid shit.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
And like, but like that, and that's what's so great about the sport, and especially our gym that I love is like, yeah, okay, you get your ass beat, but we're gonna help you work through it, and gonna, you know, some people may not, but
no, dude, literally the other day, like, I was rolling with Sam. It was at a gi class. It was after Muay Thai, so he's pushing me. He's like, bro, just come to gi. I'm like, dude, like, I don't really do well in gi, especially after I just spent 2 hours doing back-to-back Muay Thai classes. You know, like, I'm not feeling it. He's like, bro, like, I'm telling you, like, he's like, we'll get in there. I'll just work with you. And like, you know, like, you hear that sometimes, like, what old bigger belts, like, oh, I'll work with you. And then they disappear because they're rolling with everybody else. But Sam literally walks over, takes his top off. He's like, you're competing, no-gi, right? I was like, yeah. He goes, all right. He's like, fuck this shit. And he takes his gi top off. He goes, all right, so what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Like, we're about the same weight. Like, what are you going to do in your competition? And I was like, now I'm on the spot. I'm like, all right, well, Metal Mike just told me how to do the arm drag. So maybe I'll try that on Sam. Obviously it doesn't work. Yeah. But then he teaches me something else. And then he's like, okay, now do it for real. He's like, I'm going to fight you, but like, do it for real. And now I'm going 110%. And this shit actually works. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Mm-hmm. And then we get to that position and then he submits me. I literally had his back and he like grabbed my foot.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, he's like, leave your feet down. He's like, don't bring them up. And I was like, I thought you just couldn't cross them. He goes, well, that's step one. Step two is now you can't give it to me because I'll just snap it. And I'm like, all right. So he's like, so do it again. And I'm stretched out when I have his back and he can't grab my feet. And now I have to work on his neck. And he goes, bro, like you're doing this and this, switch this up. And he's like, I'm going 110%. And he's coaching me through how to kill him.
Yeah.
And then after the round, he goes, all right, now let's do it for real. And then he mauls me. And it's just like, you know what I mean? And
I gave you your chance. But now it's my turn.
Like, that's why I love guys like Sam, like Sal, like those are the dudes that they'll whoop your ass and then they'll be like, well, if you don't want me to whoop your ass, you need to do A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do A, then you got to do D. And then they like progress off of that, like what you need to do if you can't get to this spot or that spot. So again, like the Denville spot, like that was so long ago. I don't really remember any of my friendships with any of those dudes, but like I know for a fact I didn't get any of that over there. Like I don't even think I actually knew anybody's name there, and I was there for almost a year.
I think you know, I feel like at least once a year someone comes over from there.
Dude, one of my like new favorite buddies in Muay Thai is like this kid. He's like 21 years old. His name's Dylan. Fucking electric. He's hilarious, and he just came from there.
Yeah.
So, and again, I'm not going to sit here and bash another school, but I'm like, hey, bro,
it's just a different culture.
The scheduling's better here and the space is bigger. I'm like, yeah, it's all scheduling and space. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, I was like, oh, welcome, dude. Because he was like wearing shorts and I saw the logo and I was like, oh, like, dude.
The other thing that Pure does phenomenal is like when they were talking to you coming in, they didn't talk shit about price. They didn't have a conversation. It's not trying to sell you anything.
No.
Hey, come look at this. Come here. Take the free week, whatever.
Like, and then, what do you do for work?
Yeah.
And why do you want to be here?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a police officer that unfortunately works in a department where like physical fitness and, you know, toughness isn't really expected. So I want to be better. So like at least the dudes that work with me are like, oh, well, like Paterno's here. So like we're good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless like one of you guys shows up, then we're not good anymore. But you know what I mean? You have the gun. We're good with the civilians that don't train. You know?
Yeah, but like that's the point is like our gym does not pressure. Price doesn't come involved. Like at the end, once you're ready, like, do you want to do this? Cool. Here's our options.
Yeah,
that's it. But also, they have one of the cheapest prices in the state.
Oh yeah, dude.
We have one of the biggest square footage gym in the state, and we're one of the cheapest.
Yeah, and for 7 days a week, go whenever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like if you want to train for 5 hours in a day, you can do that at Pure.
Yeah. You remember that meme? It's like, shut up and take my money.
Yeah,
shut up, take my money.
But that's why, because there's some gyms like you're saying 7 days a week. Like some gyms, like you can only go like 3 times a week. It's like,
and then if you work shift work like me, like you're automatically eliminated from 2 of those classes.
Yeah.
And then if you hit traffic, you're missing that 3rd class.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, why are you paying for unlimited when you literally can't go Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? You know what I mean? Whereas Pure, it's like even when I'm rotating from days to nights, when I'm on days, I miss the mornings and afternoons. I could hit all the nights. When I'm on nights, I could hit all the mornings and the afternoons, and I miss the night classes. Like, there's always options. And then now that I'm introducing Muay Thai, so I just recently started with Muay Thai just for physically, because like jiu-jitsu, I get banged up. Muay Thai, I'm not getting as banged up. That's bone issues from getting kicked and punched, but it's not like ligament issues from getting bent.
When are you going to Muay Thai?
So when I'm on days, I'll go like on my off days, I'll go like the 11 a.m. classes.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I do privates with Mike.
Nice.
Sometimes twice a week, mainly once a week, but sometimes like, you know, if I'm feeling dangerous, I'll get 2 in. and then on the weekends that I'm off, I'll go Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right. Cause I was going to say, cause I do Thai too.
I'm starting to show up more.
Yeah.
Like originally I was just going to Mike's classes because like that's who I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I've been to Justin's, I've been to Andy's now. And then who's the other dude?
Melvis.
Yeah, Melvis. Yeah. I've been to one of his classes too.
He's a salt of the earth. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Just don't fight him.
So, dude, even when he's doing the instructions, like bro, when he kicks the bag, I'm like, God damn, I'm never volunteering.
Don't sleep on it. He's been a black belt for like a decade in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, he's my God.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. He's a black belt.
Because he doesn't train jiu-jitsu at our gym. He has done it in the past.
Does he train in Fort Lee or Woodland Park?
I forget where. I think that's
is he a judo guy too, or is that just Rob?
No, but
that's just Rob. Rob Alex,
bro.
Yeah.
He's Undertaker. Actually, I don't know him that well, so I won't say, but I know him from outside of the gym.
Yeah.
He's
from Fairfield.
All right, so you said it.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. You said
no,
it.
no, yeah. I think
I wasn't, because he doesn't know who I am, so I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, that's dude's from Fairfield. I don't want to like blow up his spot.
No,
but, now the cat's out of the bag.
No,
so I've seen him around Fairfield before, and he's friends with one of my bosses.
Nice.
So
he's a good dude.
He's a great dude.
Yeah, dude, he's doing like community stuff now in Fairfield for like kids and stuff. Like a couple of my friends have younger kids in town, and I'm like in the background, I'm like zooming in. I was like, that's definitely Rob Alex.
Yeah.
Like, and then obviously, I go to his page. I'm like, oh, it is.
Yeah.
Like,
So Dr. Matt. When we had on the show, he grew up and was friends with Rob. So that's how I knew he was from Fairfield, because Matt's from Fairfield. Yeah,
dude, I didn't even know. I saw him at like a Halloween thing a couple months ago. Like not actually, maybe it was 2 Halloweens ago. And obviously I've seen him around Pure before.
This is when you were recovering from the knee injury?
Yeah. No, this was 20. No, actually it was 25. So it was just this past October.
Yeah.
And he like daps up my one boss. I'm like, how the fuck does Jeff know Rob? Like, this dude's a fucking legend at Pure. and I've seen, dude, the sickest, just like off on a tangent, the sickest role I've seen was Bobby and Rob.
Oh, those are both great.
Bobby
Weiser.
Bobby Weiser.
Wow. Oh my. Yeah. Dude, 2 of the scariest human beings at Pure. 2 of the nicest people. No disrespect to any of the black belts or the higher belts at Pure, but like that was literally like watching like the Hulk go against like Superman. Like that's like what it was, dude.
Those were.
I remember sitting out. I'm like, as a white belt, I'm sweating. I can't feel my face, can't feel my arms, and I'm like watching these 2, and I'm like, bro, these guys aren't even that much older than me, and look at them.
They're great people. They're and what's nice is those are big. Rob Alex is a big dude.
Yeah.
And Bobby's big too. But like when I roll with them, they match my size, and I have fantastic rolls with them. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. Yeah. They're
I'm not there yet. I'm too afraid of those 2.
Yeah, but they're still great rolls.
They're great rolls. They're really great rolls. Fuck, man. Damn, I saw Rob. I actually saw both of them. I used to see them all the time because we used to train at the same time. Okay. And then I saw both of them very recently after a long time, and like trained with Bobby. And Rob came; he wasn't training, but I was like, dude, I want to fucking roll with you guys.
See how good I'm doing now,
right?
And they just been like long time Pure guys.
Yeah. They were like my upperclassmen.
Rob just branched out and did his own thing.
He's with Colton.
Yeah,
or was he always there and then he was just tied?
No. He was always at Pure. My understanding is, and then when Colton opened up, he went down there.
Colton was at Pure for a while training jiu-jitsu here.
So that's an actual name of
Colton Brown is a Olympic judo black belt.
Yeah. Okay. And he was in the Olympics for the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So he was training at our gym.
So Rob was probably then cross-training, like judo with him, and then jiu-jitsu was...
Yeah, we had Sensei Kevin out of the gym doing judo, and they were training... Rob was doing judo. That's where they met. And then Colton was training jiu-jitsu at our gym, and then I guess he was in the process of opening his own gym, and then Rob went with him to do the jiu-jitsu.
You think Pure would ever get judo, or...
We had it in the past.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things, it's like...
I don't even really know what judo is. I just know it's like tossing.
Bro, it's like probably one of the most violent
of one of my other bosses tried judo and he broke his ribs 3 weeks in, and I don't think he's ever done it again.
Bro, judo is very brutal.
It's not the gentle art.
Yeah, okay. So I definitely just stick with jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai.
So the problem with the gym is talking with Mike and Andy is judo was a great add-on, but like so many people that went from jiu-jitsu to judo would end up getting hurt in judo, and then they were sitting out and stuff. So like, it doesn't fit our gym culture that well. Okay. It's not like it's not like it doesn't fit. It's just like it's not like.
Yeah, you don't even like. I don't even really see guys getting hip tossed. Like my one friend, I don't know if you guys know Mike Reed. He's a purple belt.
Yeah.
So he's like, I've known him since. Right? Yeah, Milburn. Yep. And then Dave Kerwin's like my other boy. He's a Milburn guy.
Yeah, Milburn.
But anyway, but Mike is one of the only guys that I know, and luckily, like we're good friends. Like I know he wouldn't hurt me, but dude, he like his hip tosses are fucking.
Dude, Mike's tough. Bro. I used to. Roll
I think he was like a superstar wrestler.
He was. He's a stud wrestler, bro.
Yeah.
He's the one guy where I would consistently have like 4 to 5 minute stand up rounds with.
Oh, dude,
we would barely.
He's intense.
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive he went with Sal one time, or it was a different wrestler. And dude, Mike can hold his own against anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, Mike's tough.
Yeah.
Mike's tough.
I've never watched him get dominated, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying he wins every time, but you don't bully him.
Yeah, no, he's tough.
And then even my friend Dave, like he kind of was one of those, like, you know Dave,
I know
right?
Dave, yeah.
So Dave was just one of those, he's a wrestler, like, clearly, if you actually watched him, he was not a white belt when he was a white belt.
Yeah, no.
But he would just go to no-gi, and he kind of was very low-key. He's just a low-key dude. So, like, for the longest time, nobody really knew who he was. And then he recently got his blue belt, and I remember just busting his balls, like, bro, you've been this for, like, a while. Like, you are the most full of shit sandbagging white belt. like, it's worse than my first time I ever met Sal. Yeah. Sal forgot his belt at home. So he just like borrowed a white belt, no stripes.
Yeah, no.
So, and I was brand new. I'm like, all right, like, because dude, when I was brand new, I would look at your ears. Like, if your ears were fucked up, like, I knew, this dude knows what he's doing. Maybe he doesn't know jiu-jitsu, but he knows what he's doing. And dude, I got worked, as you can imagine. I got worked, and then Sal started laughing. He's like, yeah, bro, like. He's like, yeah, I'm Sal.
I can picture him
he
saying
goes, A, and he's like, B, I wrestled in college. I was like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like, here I am thinking you're a no-stripe white belt just as me, but I did see your ears, and I knew there was something wrong with you.
Dude, when
we just been friends ever since.
Yeah. Bro, when there's a wrestler that comes in that's a white belt,
dude.
it's you never take it.
No,
I don't like rolling with wrestlers.
And the ears are the big thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even look at belts anymore. I just look at the ears.
I'm pretty sure there was this one guy that is a black belt in judo, and I'm pretty sure he's a white belt in jiu-jitsu. And this was I don't think he trains there anymore.
That's like,
he's not a
UFC fighter, Chimaev. He's I think I butchered his name, but he's a blue belt.
Yeah,
no,
like, he ain't
fuck
no
out
blue
of
belt.
here.
Or how about did you ever see? This was a couple years back when Khabib was a fucking white belt. Like, fuck you, dude. Sambo wrestler.
Like, I get the whole belt system, but like, dude, these are some of the greatest wrestlers like in our time, and you're giving them a white belt.
Well, that's why like with Mikey and Andy, I trust that they always promote when the person is ready. That's why when people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to be put, I'm not ready. It's like Mikey and Andy know when you're ready.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna promote you when you're ready.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah,
and that's
and
like,
they respect the ground game too.
Oh,
so
dude.
if you're doing really well and you're a stud wrestler, like you're probably gonna progress.
I mean,
more, right?
dude, Sal was a white belt for like 6 months.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I've been on for 2.5 years.
Well, you also decided to not tap and fucking take yourself out of the fucking competition.
No,
it's
dude,
okay.
I always think about that. I'm like, you know what? I trust everybody here. When it's my time, like, I root for everybody. And then when one day when it's my time, it's gonna feel really good.
Well, and that's what they always say. They always say too, and I can't Peasy says it the most, but everyone else has also said it. It's like, dude, when one person gets promoted, it's you also got promoted. You helped them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was the coolest thing too. Like, when I came back in this past December after missing essentially a year minus 2 days, like, all these dudes that I've been rolling with for a majority of my time here are now all blue belts, and it's cool because it's like, damn, bro, like, you got really good over the last year. Like, the things I used to bully you, like, now I can't even get close to hitting those now. You know what I mean? Because like some of the dudes that are half my size and they were also my experience level, like, that's when the physicality, the strength side of it leans my way.
100%.
But now that they're blue belts and I missed a year, like, now I'm back to square one, and have experience and you know what you're doing.
What's good though is now you see what a year of progress looks like.
100%.
Yeah.
So
fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Love
man.
that, man. Dude, that's fun, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this.
This is a lot of fun.
I know you have more stories. So
dude,
definitely
1000%.
we'll have you come back on soon.
100%.
And the funniest part is, like, I did not at all think I was going to come here and talk about swimming.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like took off. Like,
I mean, dude,
because I looked at the clock at one point, we were at 55 minutes and we were still talking about swimming. I'm like, bro, like, what? I got to speed this shit up.
No, but see, that's a part of your life, though.
Yeah.
That's a big part of your life.
It's clearly
Huge
way
part of your
bigger than
life.
I thought, because you're asking for an intro of my life, and I just spent an hour talking about how swimming essentially transcended my whole
your whole
life
fucking
and every decision
trajectory.
I ever made.
Yeah.
So
fuck yeah, that's awesome, man.
which obviously only my brothers and my cousins and my aunts and uncles know that.
Yeah.
But like, even some of my coworkers, like, they have no idea I am the way I am, probably because of swimming. You know what I mean? So they just bust my balls because of the email that went out. The chief asked if we all knew how to swim after like all these years.
Yeah.
It's like, we've never actually asked this question, but does anybody know how to swim? And everybody was busting my balls like, oh, Patierno, we don't want all your fucking accolades in the email. Just say yes or no. And I was just dying. I'm like, dude, see? Like, these guys have no idea.
Yeah. So that's fucking great. No, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
like you said,
I appreciate it.
We'll definitely have you on again because I feel like there's more that we can get into.
Yeah, we just scratched the surface for like the law enforcement, even like the jiu-jitsu side of it. But I don't know. Maybe after NAGA, maybe I'll have some. Hopefully, I stay healthy. I'm gonna snap my knee next week.
No. You're getting it out. You're getting healthy.
It's only 2 weeks away. I'll be good. But that'll be fun.
What we like to do is we like to let you, I guess like last words, right?
Close it out.
Yeah.
Close it out with
a lesson,
parting words.
Not even. It doesn't have to be a lesson. I don't know why I said that.
No, I mean, just kind of like if there's anything you can take from my story, it's just that like life goes on, and whatever happens, it's what you make of it. And and it doesn't matter what you're going through. The victim mentality essentially ruins everything. And once you kind of break through that threshold of, I could live as a victim, or I could live as this is just my story and this is who I am. It's insane what you can accomplish. So, and it carries over. It's in your personal life. It's in your relationships. It's with God. It's professionally. It could be with anything you want. If you just change and get rid of that victim mentality, your life it's easier and
absolutely.
Better. That's pretty much it.
Love that.
Love it.
Fuck yeah, man. No, thanks for coming on again.
I appreciate it, guys. I had a lot of fun. This was really fun.
This was fun. I had a great time learning about your story.
No nerves after 5-6 minutes.
Let's go, baby.
This was awesome.
That's usually when the computer has nerves.
Yeah, dude. That's good. We're looking good. We're looking good. I'm hoping that.
I hope this is a good angle. I look a little small in this video.
Dude, thanks for coming on again. Had a lot of fun. We'll be back on. Folks, you heard it here. You're in control, right? It's up to you. So re-listen to this one again. We'll have Frank back on. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. We out.